Welcome, everybody. It's a Friday night, and you know what that means. It's a Friday night. Welcome, everybody, to the Tardis Zone Talks. I hope I find you all very well. Hello, hello, hello. Happy weekend, zoners. Nice to have you here. The link now is going into the chat. We've got someone already in the studio. So, problem being, along with, we're going to get another moderator in there. What's going to happen is if there is anybody in the chat that's new and does want to come on, what we'll do is you'll have to go through a vetting process because obviously of what happened last week. We just want to keep it a nice, safe environment for everybody, so everybody can have a bit of a chin wag without any of the nastiness going on. So, as you know, this is all about you guys, and this is our chance to come on, have a chat, tell me what you want to talk about. You can talk about absolutely anything you want on the show. Once it's got to do with pop culture, I don't want to talk about any of the drama or any of the stuff that's been going on. Just to talk about what you want to talk about in pop culture. So I see already everybody's wishing me and Cheryl a happy anniversary. I've just made her a nice little dinner there. Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it. 2 years married now. Yeah, we still haven't killed each other yet. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Everybody's wishing us a happy anniversary. I'm just saying we haven't killed each other yet, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. She's eating our veggie bites, and our veggie burgers that I made her. With quinoa stuff, I'll need the best. I'll need the best for my missus. I'll need the best for my missus. Right, so obviously we've had some Doctor Who news, we've had some Blake 7 news. We've also just to bring this up, I seen a post earlier. So the physics, the sciences have now been infected by all of this rubbish. Apparently, they're going to allow their scientists to use their pronouns and stuff. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, Jesus Christ almighty, man. Like the world's lost the plot, in fairness. I just can't get my head around it anymore. Who cares? If they want to use them, fine. We'll make a song and dance about it. Nobody gives a crap. See, this is the thing. Just do it. You don't need to, let everybody in the world know what you are doing. This is the thing. This is why we always have a bit of a moan. It's because you just don't do. You have to make a big song and dance about it, and then you just expect everybody to just be on board with it. And in fairness, that's not the way society is. Society is split on this. We're all split on this. Nobody, at this stage, I think we're heading down a very particular route that I don't like. I mean, we already get labeled. We have all of this other stuff. people can slander you with impunity and get away with it. I mean, look, it the next few years is going to be very difficult for us because you won't be able to say anything in opposition. That's the way it's gone now. I mean, you can't even have a different opinion on a TV show anymore without people losing their crap. You can't even put out information without people losing their crap. It's just, I just don't get it anymore. I don't know how we ended up like this in society. By the way, the link is in the chat. I'll throw it in again. If you want to come on, even if you were on last night, it doesn't matter. If you want to come on, link in the chat. But I tell you what, we've got 2 people waiting, right? Now, Lee obviously is going to be staying in the private chat, so he's going to be staying in the studio after he finishes his call. I'll be leaving him in the background there. He will be vetting people that come in. And look, whatever decision Lee makes, if he feels that this person is only coming on to start trouble, Lee gets the final say on it. Also, I just want to briefly, because I can see me moderators are all in the chat now. Guys, do me a favor. If any trolls come along, I want you to take screenshots first, right? Screenshots first, then report them, and then permanently remove them or ban them from the chat. Yeah, but make sure you get those screenshots first, okay? We are collecting evidence because last Friday they come on and try to ruin the stream. They'll do the same again this week. They don't give up. They're fanatical. I mean, I shared stuff with Lee and Daniel and others were made aware of this because they were these people tried to get them involved. There's someone else now trying to start up again. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I will say one thing, because Tardis actually left a nice message on his Twitter account to come out and actually clarify that he wasn't actually blaming me for the troll that went on to his channel, which is actually great. And thank you for doing that, because it was the same person that came into my chat. There are people out there, and I'll just briefly mention this, there are people out there that are trying to get people who they know don't like me. They're going into them and they're making an ass of themselves. They're saying horrible things to people. They're also then saying stuff like, well, Noel's accusing you of doing this, just like they did when they came onto my chat, start accusing people of stealing my information and stuff like that. It's not about stealing information anyway. Once my information's up on the channel, anybody can use it. I'm not one of those people that say, well, you can't use my information. You can use my information if you want to use my information. It's as simple as that. You can take it and say, well, I'm talking out of my arse. You're entitled to do that. But as I said, you're not entitled to go around slander and call someone an outright liar when they get something right in the Sontarans. We'll say no more. But look, bottom line is this. As I said, we're going nowhere. So, before you come on, you will have to engage with Lee in both the private and live chat there. He's going to basically find out if you're obviously a messer or you really want to come on and talk, because as we said, we want to keep this a safe environment for everybody. The 7 o'clock time seems to work. So because we had so many guests and it went on till, I think it nearly went on till 10, 11 o'clock. We won't be going that long, hopefully, but we'll get as many of you on as possible. So I'm going to start now because we have a couple of people in the studio waiting. Now, as I said, if you want to come on, and if you're a new name that we don't know, there is a vetting process going on right now. Now, we will have a better system in place by next week, and they'll be properly vetted If one or two get in tonight, we just roll with it anyway, right? We don't get upset about it. Nobody comment about it. Remember, just get the screenshots, block them. Nobody engage with any trolls in the chat either, okay? We're not about that. Let's just do what we do every week and talk to each other and enjoy ourselves, okay? So let's, without further ado, hold on, there's the link again anyway, if anybody wants to join in. But without further ado, let's bring on our first guest. Now, yeah, hold on. Just want to get everything ready. So I am making sure that I'm actually on YouTube as well. I'll use my phone, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat myself tonight as well. Because in fairness, I should be doing that as well as me moderator. So I'm going to be keeping an eye. Remember, guys, screenshots, then report, then block. Okay, if anybody does come on. So there we go. I can see. So who have we got in the chat? I'll do a few shout outs because it's easier doing it on my phone. So we got Lord Thought, we got Dr. Dave, we got Chris, we got the Thing King, Real Super Doctor, Retro Dicky, John Steed Disaster Area, Leland is here as well. Nice to see you, Leland. We've got here Disaster Area. Welcome. We've got Charlotte here as well. Remember, even if you've been on last night, you're more than welcome to come on. So don't be shy. Come on. Matthew is here as well. Welcome, Matthew. Who else have we got? We got the one and only Problem Being, who we'll be bringing on now in a minute. We've got Sadako24. Welcome, Sadako. We've got Matt Jones. We've got Tardis Time. We've got Rachel Mullins in the chat also. Clobbering Times. And I think that's everybody. We got a few new names in the chat there tonight. Welcome. I hope you've enjoyed the streams. And Teddy Terrier Tail says, hi Zoners, thank you all for the anniversary wishes. Have a fun stream. Thank you, Mrs. We will indeed. Happy anniversary. Right, let's bring them on. So everybody is going to get at least, 10 minutes or so. Just give me a second. We'll do 12 minutes, right? We'll see how it goes, because I can already see that the studio is filling up. So I'm going to stay strict on this now tonight, right? Because I did last week kind of let everybody run over a little bit of time. But what happens is it has a knock-on effect to those that are waiting later in the stream. So I'm going to stay strict as soon as the timer comes up. Just try keep these our points, whatever you want to talk about. Just try get to the points, yeah. And then that way, then if you want a response from me or you want to hear what people have to say in the chat, then it gives them an opportunity. Right. I see Lee is in the chat doing these things, but we're going to bring him on now. So the one and only Problem Being.
Good evening.
Good evening. I haven't started the timer yet, but is there anything you want to add about anybody that comes on the channel tonight, just in case I haven't covered everything?
Yeah, no, I mean you pretty much did it. I've mentioned in the backstage area, if you are coming on, if you are in the area waiting to come on, I've had absolutely no reply from anybody. So if you are waiting to come on, can you please announce who you are? If it's your first time on and we know who you are, just tell us who you are. That's fine. If we don't know who you are, can you please say who you are and give us a link to either your Twitter or Facebook or something that we can verify who you are. That's all we need.
There's a couple of people there that I see new names in the studio. Lee is there as well. Welcome, Lee. I'm glad you got in. Lee Anthony Davis. I'm glad he's in the studio. I know you've been wanting to come on, pal, but the panels are kind of, well, they're supposed to be set, but we do have so many on the panels. But yeah, this night is probably the best night for you to come on every week, because I put the link in the chat, and then as soon as I do that, then you can come on. There's no problem with you coming on whatsoever, pal. It'll be an honor. Lee does some great work, by the way. If you haven't checked out his Facebook and his his YouTube channel. Usually, as every guest comes on, we will throw your channel up in the chat as well. We will throw your Facebook links, whatever you have. Actually, if you just want to tell the moderators, everybody, what links you actually have to share, that'll be absolutely fantastic. So they can actually go and find them and throw them up for you guys. Right, Lee, we will start off with you. You're the first person on tonight. So what would you like to talk about when you're finished? Do us a favor. You're going to be typing as well.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Just go easier, will you, man?
I will. Yes. So, just a little update, really. We've got one already who's in the backstage area who is clearly a troll. We're on to you. Nicholas Crow.
So I can remove them. It's as simple as that. We don't keep them in the studio.
Nicholas Crow is in the studio there.
Right. So he's not answering. That's fine. Right, there we go.
Right. So that's as simple as it works. So nice try. Not happening. We know who your little boss is or who you are actually, and your details are going to the police. So we've got you. We know exactly who you are. We've got your channel. We've got your details. And
actually, it was brilliant because someone has been. There's someone out there that has been doing some great work actually, and has been investigating all of this. And it's actually quite easy. I didn't know it was this easy that they could find all of this.
Well, there were a few.
You know why it's easy? Because they're idiots. They don't cover themselves at all. Last night, just to because I don't want to go into. I'm going to pause Lee's time because I have to say this. So last night I had this account on Facebook's set up. It was obviously a fake account that messaged me. It messaged a couple of me friends as well, and said that I better apologize to a certain person who I won't mention, because if I bring their name up, then it's going to start all this rubbish again. But they made it very clear that they were going to get their daddy involved, because their daddy is this big time lawyer and all of this. Now I screenshot this account and I put it up on a Twitter. You can check it. There's no posts on it. It's clearly a fake account. Also, this person was so crazy that they rang me a couple of times on Messenger. Right? This is how sick they are. So I threw that up as well. Now I've blocked this account, and I've also proven that I've blocked it, because you have to, because this is how crazy they are. So I've blocked that account too. But this is the lengths that these people will go through. And by the way, they're using a photograph. See, they're that thick. They're using the same photograph that they've used in other troll accounts. They're using this. She looks like a model to me. They're using this girl in her 20s model as a photograph, and they've clearly stolen it off someone's real account, because I remember the last time when all of this was happening and they were using some poor girl's account. I think she was alerted to the fact. So they're even using the same photograph. So they're that stupid that even when they're trolling, they're using the same photographs. Right, I'm going to shut up now because I did stop the timer for Lee there. So he's got 10 minutes and 55 seconds to go. So Lee, you go on and say what you want to say tonight anyway.
Yeah, I've just been sort of checking something that the person that was in the backstage area was trying to highlight to me, but I need to investigate it first. So, I mean, I don't know if it's someone trying to troll or not, but I'm not going to take the risk. But they're more than welcome to contact me on my Twitter account, and I've given them a link to my Twitter account if they want to send me proof and evidence of what they're saying. Can't just take what they've said in the link that they've given me as gospel. It has to be vetted first. So I'm more than happy to discuss it with them if what they presented to me is true information, but I'm not willing to put them on air and make a mockery.
That's it. Basically, this is what will happen. Lee will do a quick background check to make sure that she's legit.
They're more than welcome to come back next week if they can verify all the claims that they're making.
And then, that's it. Because look, we had people come on here say some nasty stuff. One person in particular used the N-word. They tried to play some copyright music as well. to try have the stream pulled down. Luckily, because I literally deleted them straight away, removed them straight away, their little plan didn't work because I didn't get a copyright claim.
And you know how difficult editing is for Noel. It was a sight for sore eyes, I tell you. When you're trying to get rid of that awful
Lee, I had Lee and Jed in the studio trying to help me edit this video last week, and if you had actually heard me, right,
it made your toes curl.
I would have been, I think you all would have said Noel needs to go to the hospital or something. I lost my crap. Right, Lee, you've got 9 minutes left. Is there anything that's gone on this week in the world of pop culture? Now, I know the Mandalorian.
I did actually want to highlight something. It was just, and this is why I was kind of when you were doing your thing with Ninja Knight, and Ninja Knight prior to you lot going on said to come on, and then you didn't let me on. But I had everything already. I had pictures already lined up. I was like, okay, let's do this. I want to talk about this. It was the that pop twat from One Direction who wore a dress or a few dresses on Vogue magazine. It was that what's his face, Harry Styles. That was it. And it's just like, I'm so tired of it. Look how stunning and brave I am by wearing a dress, and it's all, you know what I mean? And it's just like, David Bowie did that in the early 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I am so past the point of caring, because I just find this generation is so woefully ignorant of, you know, all this kind of, they think they're the first to be like gender benders and stuff. It's like, no. It's so not true. You know, I mean, back in my heyday, I was like doing all the gender fucking, you know, thing back then, but it was always a laugh. You know, it was always, you know, always taken as a sort of fuck you, not fitting in. It was, you know, anti-conformist. It was a fuck you. And now it's just like the most conformist thing in the world, and it's now stunning and brave. And it's like, I think it was more stunning and brave when we did it and got beaten up for it, you know, like badly. But
that's what I mean. They moan about. I mean, I've even seen posts today. Like, it was International Men's Day yesterday, but I think it's International something to do with Trans Rights Day or something, right? I don't know what exactly it is, right? So forgive me for not knowing, right? But there's a day, and they're making such a big deal out of it, right? It's like violence towards trans people. Now, I'm not saying violence towards trans people does not happen. It obviously is happening if people are talking about it. But the thing that I hate is that back then in your day, it was a lot worse. I'm not trying to justify what's happening these trans. If anybody is doing that, that's highly fucking disgraceful, and those people should be locked up for doing that. But the way they make it out to be this widespread pandemic thing that needs to be stamped out. And I don't believe it's that. I believe it's probably isolated incidents. There's probably a lot of them, but it's not widespread like they're making it out to be. I mean, back in your day, in your heyday, growing up as a gay man, it would have been very difficult. I mean, you are literally looking over your shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot different. You know, the general consensus was not good in our favor. The struggle was real. Listen, again, you know, to highlight that the other day was Trans Awareness Week. I wish and I hope that there is the same amount of emphasis on those who have regretted transitioning. There is not enough highlighted on people who have gone through the process of being trans and then having trans regret, that, which is a very real thing. And that is not to belittle anyone who is trans or to deny them their reality and deny them their want and desire to be trans. But there is a large swell of people who are ignored and vilified, actually vilified, for being trans regret or changing their mind or wishing they hadn't gone through this process. Now, I actually personally knew someone who went through the process of trans and always believed they were trans their entire life since they were a small child. Decided not to progress with it because they had a kid and they raised that child, stayed masculine as fuck to not confuse their child when raising that child by himself. Only when the child left home at the age of, I think, 16 or 17 to live with his mum, only then did he explore this. So, I had a lot of respect for what he did, but he decided that this was something he couldn't not do anymore, and then went ahead and did it. The whole process. It took only a matter of weeks to get something like 8 milligrams or whatever it is dosage of estrogen on a regular basis. I mean, like heroic doses. I mean, unheard of doses. Far too much, than should have been allowed. And this process was fast-tracked. This person then went on to have the operation. And then it was after that process that the realization of what have I done crept in. And then that person then stopped taking the hormones. When you stop taking the hormone, there is no replacement hormones coming through, no testicles to produce testosterone. And the body just started to wither away. I mean, decaying. I mean, literally in front of my eyes, this person aged overnight. Their body just simply was pain, aches, all the rest of it, and not a pleasant thing. And this is just horrific. And this is a person in their 50s. Now, targeting this towards teenagers and younger, I think parents need to understand that with that comes a great responsibility. I think when you reach 18 and whatnot, you can do what you want. I think that it's important that people need to sort of understand that there is a big cultural difference here, and you must be guarded as well as respectful and as well as trying to understand people from all sides of the argument, but never vilify and demonize any of them. And I think that's important. That's all I wanted to say.
No problem. Well, we've got 2 minutes left, so I'll tell you what to do because it'll probably take you that. No, it won't take you that long. Do me a favor, give your channels, your social media a shout out. And
you can
by the way,
find
folks, there's plenty of room in the studio. So if you want to come on, please do. Don't be shy. Don't let what happened last week deter any of you from coming on. It was a pleasure having you all on. Come on, there's I'm at the throwing the link in there. Plenty of room in the studio, as I said. Lee, go ahead, knock yourself out, pal. I don't mean literally knock yourself out, but
it's Twitter. You can find me there at the Golden Asda. That's AZDHA, the Golden Asda. You can also find me on my other YouTube channel, which is Aldred Audio Visual, and links will be in the chat. I will be backstage. I will be vetting people. There's already another person I've said not to come on. That's one who's claimed to be
I removed them already.
Good. Oh, sweet. It's working.
It's working well anyway. It's working well, so just keep it up. I mean, I just want people on that genuinely want to come on.
Yeah, you'll see in the chat, if no one's answering me and you can see that someone hasn't answered me, then they're clearly a troublemaker. Yeah. And we just had to remove someone there from the chat there. So
no problem. Okay, well
you know who you are.
These are on top of it. These are on top of it. Well done.
It's all good.
Had multiple accounts. You've got.
I yield the floor to Scottish Davros.
No problem. Listen, thank you. I will put you back in the backstage. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And there we go, right on time. Did you hear that? There's the buzzy. There's the buzzy. Right, we'll get him on now in a second. Just give me a second. I have to reset the timer. Right, fantastic. So Lee will be backstage. I want to link in the chat again. Everybody seems to be a bit slow tonight. I think it's because, they are worried. You don't have to be. Even if you were on last night, please come on. There's plenty of room, as I said. Plenty of room in the studio. The link is in the chat again. Right, let's bring on our next guest. It's the one and only Scottish Stavros.
Hello, I'm hello, and a happy anniversary to you and Cheryl. Right, so kick, so kick off by saying, very absolutely delighted that you've decided to actually do the unearthly child child because again the BBC have slapped us in the face again by showing that piece of the time was still children, so I commend you for that. And so anyway, I saw your I saw your I saw your post being after like asking all your all wars and friends how they get introduced to all or who, and it was nice to actually read something something positive because at the end of the day none of us in the and have ever set out to actually hate on the show, but the problem is even after the Chibnall era has actually concluded, like you still have they still have a lot of higher up for is for this way the diversity and inclusion strategy, and you've got common purpose as well. So whoever takes takes the show on after Chibnall still has to contend with if common purpose being a sort of hand. So like I just don't know whoever takes over the show after how much of a success they'll be because as long as organisations like Common Purpose have a stranglehold over the BBC, the more Hank of the shoulder on us gonna be so with difficult for even enough year of Stephen Moffat to try and figure a way around that because common purpose demand certain expectations, so even after Chibnall goes, you'd still get so even after Chibnall goes, this the next showrunners get a bit of a eye on the hands to actually turning this show around because of the hierarchical structure. So like I don't really see the show even I don't even see the show surviving, but at the end of the day we've still got all the past eras, we've still got some big finisher on deals and we've got some far and odd deals out there to listen as as well and to be honest and to be honest if you and to be honest with you as well people in my opinion um people in my opinion if they really hear about if they really hear about this show and Hartnell's and Hartnell's impact on the show they'll be in the they need to take they need to honour Hartnell by putting the hashtag Hartnell us up to signify that this is not this is not acceptable because at the end of the day the BBC look a big massive shite in that man's legacy and it's not acceptable and it's not on and I feel so sorry for his family members that are around so be looking forward to so be looking forward to actually hearing the panels and thoughts on the unaired pilot and obviously the episodes that we did to TV and the and in the ancient space and time because I think it's a great idea that you're and that's basically that was basically my point tonight. Also, thanks for having me on and that.
No, I wanted, yeah, but you've got 5 minutes left. But here, listen, I heard something last night, so I'm getting Lee to check, right? Because it would be interesting if true. So I got sent a message. Now, again, I'm getting Lee to try verify this right now. But I'm told that they've changed their mind on the Timeless Children on the anniversary, and they've decided to change it because there was a backlash to it. Now, as I said, I'm waiting on Lee to see if there's any verification. No, Lee is saying no, it's not true. Okay, then, well, there you go. That puts an end to that. See, that's how easy that was. And that's if they had done that, that would have been very telling, in my opinion. But I do think they should change their mind. There's no way they should be showing this story. But yeah, I can't wait for Monday. Monday is going to be absolutely brilliant. So we got the unaired pilot, and then we're going to watch the pilot. And then obviously then when we were doing the panel, someone suggested, why don't we do an adventure in space and time? So we're going to do that as well. So it's only 2 25-minute episodes, and then we've got the hour and 20 minutes or whatever this thing is on. So it'll be a good stream. So if you have our copies, get them ready for Monday. And on the night of the chat, obviously, if some of you don't know where you could get the unaired pilot online. It's very easy to get your hands on. Obviously, you can watch it on BritBox if you have BritBox. So come and join us for that because it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to it. Daniel, before we do finish up, you've got about 3 minutes left. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or do you want to shout out your channels now? And
I'll shout out my channels now because I've got a lot to shout out.
I know you do. That's why I said if you do it now, we might finish on time. Go ahead, pal. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, well, I've got my two Facebook characters, you know, Daniel's and Daniel's and his and Daniel's and his YouTube hub, and obviously Daniel's and like finish hub, you know, up like finish short deals. I'm taking a break right now from my channel, but me and Charlotte will be back in the new year and discussing the fan audio series that we've been that we've been discussing recently. So that'll be good. And you can also and you can also follow me on Twitter if you can't get enough of me on at Celtic Daniel into that's my handle that talk about talk to and various other optics and having chats with people over here and I'll be on and I'll be on this channel on on Sunday as we review the abomination that is the episode of Jesus Christ, that episode. That episode scared me for it's a really bad written episode and highlights all Chris channels all Chris channels and mistakes is alright I tell us with so yeah tune and yeah so we'll tune into that stream because I'm sure the panel of air channel and you and also basically right is over and get on your next stream because I believe the leave the timer was about to run out.
Yeah, it ran out about a minute ago, but I just let you continue on because I know you have a lot to plug. And thanks for plugging my channel as well. You always plug my channel when you're on, which is funny. You know, you don't need to, but he is on my panels every Sunday. He does New Who, and we are watching 42. That's the next episode we're on. Unfortunately, we're not skipping it because that's what we do. So yeah. So Ninja Knight is in the chat as well. Ninja Knight, if you want to join me, you can get yourself in the studio where you can talk about whatever you want, pal. Just to let you know, but no spoilers on the Mandalorian's recent episode. I have been sent this, so I'm gonna try watch it straight away. There's the link. It's in the chat. Okay, Daniel, thanks for coming on. You're an absolute legend. See you the weekend, pal. Well, it is the weekend. I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, see you on tea, and actually looking forward to it. I'll still be a bit of on at the end of the day, but until then, is and happy anniversary again to you.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's not the anniversary that we would have wanted. Not saying spending time with you guys isn't great, but you know yourself, if this wasn't the part I would have liked to bring her out somewhere fancy and, you know, have a few cocktails like we did last year, which was great. Yeah. I remember that we were in the Hard Rock Cafe, actually. Quite funny. Right, better go anyway. Go on. I'll talk to you later.
Okay,
right, that was Daniel. So let's bring on our next guest. It's the one and only Lee. Anthony Davis.
So let's bring on our next guest.
We got a bit of feedback there. Lee, you will have to knock off if you're watching the stream on YouTube, you'll have to knock it off because you haven't done. Okay.
If you're watching the stream on YouTube,
no, it's still going. It's still going. We're getting awful feedback. We'll give it a few seconds to sort out. But Lee, you'll have to knock the YouTube stream off that you're watching and just be in StreamYard for this because it won't work, pal. There'll be a lot of feedback. I can hear myself repeating. Right, we'll give it another go. Apparently there's a bit of a delay, so this might be difficult, unfortunately, but we'll give it a go because he has been trying to get on, and I don't want to miss anybody. You know, oh, he's just popped out. Right, we'll give him a chance to come back in, lads, right? Because it won't be fair because he has been waiting and he's been waiting to get on for weeks now, apparently. So we'll give him a chance to pop into the studio. But that'll give me the opportunity to give a few shout-outs to a couple of people that have arrived in the chat. So we've got Ninja Knight. Welcome, Ninja Knight. Nice to see you. We've got David Travels Through Time. Who else did I see new in the chat? We've got DSB in the chat as well. Tardis Time is in the chat. Raymond Williams has also joined us in the chat. We got Retro Dicky. I think I called you out before, but just in case I didn't. We got Rob Fellows in the chat also. And I think that's everybody. If I have forgotten anybody, let me know now. Remember, the link to come on is in the chat. You can scroll up. Oh, James Duggan is also in the chat. Dr. Dave, I think I've mentioned him. Right, everybody's trying to figure out how to get to watch this thing. There is another platform you can watch it on, but obviously, I think you might get it on Daily Motion, actually. So check that out. You might get you'll definitely get one of the pilots on it. We've got Lyndon 12 in the chat as well. Right. No sign of Lee Anthony Davis. So I'll put the link in the chat again because maybe they need to do it that way. So I'll put the link fresh in again. If you're still there in the chat, mate, I'll give you another 2 minutes. If not, I'll have to move on. And I'll tell you what, if you can't come on tonight, I will bring you on the new Who panel on Sunday if you're around. You can join Daniel. Your sound is cracking for me here, says Ninja Knight. Don't tell me it's acting up again, is it? Right, well, we'll give him another minute. I'll be fair because he has waited. Yeah, it happens after a guest or when he shares something, it passes it in time. Yeah, it's YouTube. I don't know what it is because I've cleared my computer. I've got the memory all sorted now. So it works. The funny thing is like it's been happening quite a lot lately. BritBox, Daniel says you can get in on BritBox. Right, listen. We'll just bring on the next guest. How long is he here? Is he here? How long is he popped in? I was just about to say, I think he might be here now. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. Give us a second. This thing. I have to try scroll down. There he is. Okay. We'll bring him on. We'll try this again. Hello, Lee. Can you hear me? Right, you're muted. You're muted. You have to, did I mute you? Hold on. No, you need to unmute your mic, I think.
Hello?
There we go. There we go.
Just.
Just about, yeah. It's very
Thank you very much for
bad.
bringing me on.
but we'll try persevere. So, is there anything in particular you'd like to talk about?
No, I think.
I've done that.
There seems to be quite a big delay, Lee.
Hello.
It's actually a big one. It's over 12 seconds, I think.
There you go.
Listen, after you hear me finish talking, just whatever you want to talk about, just talk about. I won't interrupt you because obviously there is a delay.
Anything in particular you'd like to talk about?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know if I've got it in the right sort of place.
Lee.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's over 12 seconds.
Yeah, this is bad. But I think it's because are you using your mobile phone, Lee? Because if you're using your mobile phone, the connection is going to be really, really bad, and there's going to be a lot of feedback. You might need to reboot your phone and rejoin because the signal there's about a 12-second delay at least anyway. But listen, if you come back into the studio, I'll bring you on. Not a bother. So if you can get your issues sorted out, I'll bring you back on. Not a bother. That's actually unfortunate. Hopefully now he gets that sorted out. Right, let's bring on our next guest and we'll just move on, and hopefully then by the time you get to Lee again, those issues are sorted out. So we've got John joining us tonight. John Stead.
Hello, how are you?
I can hear you. That's fantastic. Well, at least we can hear you. That's something. That's good.
That's good then.
Right. So, John, is there anything in particular that you want to highlight, talk about?
Well, I was going to ask you on the panel, all the people involved in this, or the zoners as I call them, if they're watching anything in particular to fill the void, like the favourite programmes.
Oh, instead of Doctor Who now.
Yeah,
That's a good question, actually. Anybody in the chat? Well, for me, I could tell you I've kind of filled the void with The Orville and The Mandalorian, actually. So that's how I'm getting it. But of course, I've already watched series 11 and 12 and the festive specials. So I mean, I've still watched them, but yeah, I mean, I'm The Orville and The Mandalorian to me seem to be the two things that are the most fun right now, and I think that's what we need is a little bit of fun. So I'm enjoying those two shows. So yeah, there is someone saying Star Cops there, John.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
on
remember
BritBox,
that first
actually.
time around.
Yeah, it's on BritBox, believe it or not. If you have BritBox, Star Cops is actually on BritBox. They've got Blake 7 as well. Yeah, I've been watching a bit of Blake 7 with Lee.
Well, I've just watched the last episode of that.
Yeah.
I've got through all 4 series, and I'm on to Space 1999 at the minute and Avengers. So I've got quite a backup of things to keep me busy at the minute.
Yeah, there's another show as well that's on BritBox, The Prisoner. That's another good one. Sapphire and Steel is another good one as well. I mean, I think there is a lot. I have to be honest. If you do have BritBox, then there is an opportunity to kind of fill that void, because there's some classic sci-fi on BritBox that they have. Absolutely wonderful shows. So I mean, there is something there. But let's be honest, John. We'd all rather be watching Doctor Who when it's actually decent.
Oh, definitely. I keep dipping in and out of the classics. Because I'm a big John Pertwee fan, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm watching second series of John Pertwee at the minute, so that's keeping me occupied. Like I said before, the Avengers, that's keeping me going.
Yeah,
It's
that's a good show as well, actually. I have to say, with the BBC and ITV back in the day, Jesus Christ, they have to be embarrassed now. I mean, look at the great shows that they were producing. Not only sci-fi though, it was comedy as well, drama,
yeah.
it was even your wildlife programs, Dave. They don't even do them even properly anymore. There's always I just, you know what? It is sad to see. I mean, because you look at the television, as I said, they have produced. I mean, yeah. Look,
Space 1999 still holds.
John filled the void for so long, mate, and then we'll be pining over Doctor Who again. That's the thing. They'll only fill the void for so long, and then we'd be like, well, where's Doctor Who? I mean, Doctor Who is not even in the public consciousness anymore. It's actually sad.
It's you know, where we used to complain about Moffat being over compensating with stories and that, but now I'd gladly have him back. You know, with what we have to put up with.
Everybody would. I think we're all eating our words now, aren't we? Because I was one of them that was highly critical of Stephen Moffat. But I tell you something, I'd bite your hand off to have him back tomorrow. I really would.
Definitely.
Because I know he cares, though. I know he kind of, you know, got a big ego and was full of himself. But he really does care about the show. Look at his interviews and look how enthusiastic he is, right? And even with RTD, and then look at Chibnall with the brief interviews that he's done, or he hasn't got as many. And watch how he talks about Doctor Who. There's no enthusiasm there. The man just doesn't like this show, and he's proved it when he's writing. But the other two cared at least. Or Moffat was okay. RTD, in my view, his era struck the balance perfectly between attracting new fans and keeping the classic fans happy enough that they continue to be loyal to the show.
RTD is a third and fourth series were the best ones I've seen for a long time.
Yeah,
you know, even some of the classic ones who were better, and that's when it was at its peak for the new era. Season 3 and season 4, especially, you know, Dr. Donna. I thought that was really brilliant how they laid out everything, and also series 3, the ending of series 3.
Series 3 gets a bad rep, but I even say it because they're on series 3 with the watch-alongs, and I've even said a bar the dud episodes. There's about 3 in this season, but overall, if you look at the other stories and look at it was clever the way he did the whole Yana and the whole Saxon. Vote Saxon thing. It was very clever. Like
you are not alone.
Yeah, I mean that was absolute, and the reveal was just. I mean, David Tennant's face in that scene is just unbelievable. When Martha Jones is explaining to him about the fob watch, and you can see it in his face as soon as he realizes it's like, oh my god, I need to find out who this is. And then when he finds out it's the master, it's like, let me in, let me help you. It's changed and all, and just brilliant. But I agree with you, season 4 as well. I mean, those last 3 episodes, Turn Left, never gets put in with the final 2 episodes. But it's a trilogy. It's a trilogy ending. It's not a 2-parter like everybody thinks. The season finale is a 3-parter. It starts off with Turn Left, right? And
I've always classed it as 3. I've always classed it as a 3-parter.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, series 3 and 4 for me, definitely agree with you. And then obviously Stephen Moffat's 4th season, and maybe the second season wasn't too bad of the Moffat era under Matt Smith. Wasn't too. That was a good time to be a Doctor Who fan. We had the 50th in between that as well. So, I mean, look, we got some good years to look back in, even with New Who. And, you know, New Who, when it got it right, it got it right. When it gets it wrong, it gets it spectacularly wrong. And this current era gets it spectacularly wrong on so many levels. It's just so sad.
Yeah. It's a shame because even when Moffat was doing Sherlock as well, and he was overweight, which you could tell with some of the latter stories, they're still immensely more popular and better written than any of series 11 and 12.
Yeah, I mean, look, at 42 comes this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be crucified for saying this, right? But I'm going to be honest. 42, if you were to insert 42 into the current era of Chris Chibnall's era, it'd probably be the best story of the whole entire era, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I think it's that, and I know I'll get crucified for this as well, but the Silurian two-parter is not too bad. I mean, the first part is definitely fantastic. The second one, that's where he loses the plot. Chibnall just... he comes up with some good concepts sometimes, but the problem with him is he doesn't quite know how to execute them. And we've seen that throughout his era now. And then when he can't quite execute it, he explains it to his audience because he can't do it. Now, if you've got someone like that cannot translate that on the screen and get your actors to translate that on the screen, well, then I'm sorry, you're in the wrong job. As far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. I agree, 100% with that. The trouble is, like you say, he has to get everybody to explain everything, especially the Doctor. And the Doctor is just two-dimensional character at the minute. And even with a better actor or actress, I still think the writing would hold him down. I still think if you got an excellent actor doing it, it still won't come across great because the writing is so mundane. Yeah,
I agree with you. It doesn't matter who he gets in. And there is a rumor out there that Jodie Whittaker will live, but he's going to hang on. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I had a choice between the two of them to go, it would be Chris Chibnall over Jodie Whittaker. I'd rather her get another year knowing that there's a better showrunner and better team of writers in place, and they can replace her whenever they feel fit. But then it's at least she'd have some good stories to run with, and then she'll either be a bad actress that we've all said, or she'll surprise us all. I don't think that will ever happen, but you never know. These things, suddenly a new showrunner comes in and they inspire an actor or an actress so much that they give a performance of a lifetime. That's what she needs, by the way. Like, she needs to inspire her, and Chibnall doesn't inspire her a plank.
No, I don't think she'll ever be a great Doctor, even with a great showrunner, but it would have been passable. And you think, you might have got a few good stories out of it. Probably no classic stories, but at least watchable.
Yeah.
And believable.
I agree with you. I agree. I mean, look, again, I don't, because I know you've been in the chat and all, you haven't been on in a while, but you have seen the fact that they still haven't given us a trailer for the festive special. And I don't know if you watched The Children in Need debacle. It was like literally 20 seconds or something. No, it was a bit longer than that, of Jodie Whittaker leaving the TARDIS, calling out a competition. I just want to ask you, how did you, when you seen that, what was your reaction? Because a lot of people's reaction on this channel and people that came on was like, they couldn't believe it, first of all. And there seems to be, I don't know, a lack of promotion. I mean, there's a festive special coming in, 5-6 weeks from now, and there's nothing, no urgency.
I remember the old days when you used to have mini-sodes and that, 4 or 5 years ago, you'd have a mini-sode and then you'd look forward to that. You'd thought, then you get a trailer or 2 trailers and they'd lead up to it. Now, it's just not interested. In fact, I do feel sorry for the Jodie fans in a way, because fair enough, they're Jodie fans and we more classic and New Who fans, but even the Jodie fans is screwed over,
We said
not
that.
a trailer in sight, nothing. And I had a gut feeling that he's not interested in it, and I think he's going to throw Jodie Whittaker under the bus. By no means am I a fan of it as the Doctor, but I think he's treating her with contempt in some ways.
Yeah.
I just don't realise. Well, he just doesn't realise he's got his own agenda in his head, and he's going to see it through, even if it kills the show. And
no, I agree. I said this when that happened. He's going to throw her under the bus. And my advice to her was, and I know she'd never listen to channels like this, but if I was Jodie Whittaker there, the thing I would say to her is now say, listen, this isn't worth your career. You're going to ruin
Yes.
your career if you stay. Listen, no matter what they're telling you, whether you like it or not, your doctor is not the most popular. They don't. They're not warming to your doctor. It's as simple as that. But your career, they feel that, you know, the longer this goes on, the show is going to, and you don't want to be the person that they blame for this. The blame is strictly on Chris Chibnall. He's the one that made all the decisions, and the people above him. If he's trying to use her as a scapegoat, no, we're not going to be fooled by that either. And you're not going to use her as a scapegoat. No matter what I think of her playing the doctor personally, you're not going to use Jodie Whittaker or throw her under the bus. That's absolutely disgraceful. The woman doesn't deserve that, in fairness, right? No matter what we said about her acting or whatever she's done in the show or the comments she's made, she doesn't deserve this crap. She should definitely leave. She proved the difference. She showed a different side of herself when I watched program Who Do You Think You Are, and she showed a side that we've never seen on the show or in interviews, and it was absolutely wonderful to see. The woman showed genuine emotion. He actually looked like she's a fun person to be actually around, but the way they have her, she's, you know, she comes across as this cold, you know, person that doesn't want to interact with the fans, but clearly that's not who she is. She's clearly she's got a personality, but for some weird reason, Chris Chibnall says, don't use your personality. I don't know. I just don't get it. But John, listen, we've ran out of time, but I want to say it's been ages since we had you on. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you're looking well, mate. Did you get a haircut or did you lose your hair during the lockdown?
No, I've had a trim.
I love it, pal. I love it. But you're looking well, I have to say, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Busy at work,
this lockdown are looking great. I haven't piled on weight. Actually, I've lost a bit of weight, believe it or not. I thought I'd actually gain weight during this lockdown, but I've actually lost it, believe it or not. I don't know what it is. It's weird. But everybody's looking well. I have to say, you, Eddie, as well. Eddie came on a few weeks back, man, and Jesus Christ, he looked well, haircut and all. Everybody's looking all snazzy. Well done.
All right, thank you very much, Noel. I appreciate that.
Not a bother, man. And don't be a stranger. Come back again, won't you?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's just that I was so busy just lately, but I'm back on track now and enjoyed the streams. So it's appreciate it.
No problem, mate. Listen, if you're available the weekends, you know, you're more than welcome on the panel because we used to have you on anyway. So if you're available, let me know and we'll bring you on for one of them as well, the watch-alongs, yeah?
That's fine.
Right.
That is. Thank you very much.
Not a bother, John. You look after yourself. See you, pal. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, that's John. Let's bring her on. Let's keep the guests rolling. We'll keep the guests rolling. And there's Tardis time saying hello to everybody. Hello. We got Vanessa Laura in the chat as well. And the Classic 80s fanboy is also in the chat. Right, let's bring her around because, like, I have to shut now. It's the one and only. Oh, no, hold on. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Charlotte's here.
Can you hear me? Is it working tonight?
I'm a bit of a slow one tonight with my computer. What's going on? Come on. Right, she's obviously there. There you go. Our photos popped up now on my screen. How are you?
Good. Is it working? And I'm not like with massive delay.
No, we can hear each other. Right. What would you like to talk about tonight? And remember, before you start, actually, I just want to say, as you can see, everybody has talked about different things tonight. This is the whole idea of this stream. It doesn't necessarily have to be Doctor Who related. You can talk about anything in pop culture. Obviously, as I said, I won't be talking about personal stuff or anything like that or any drama that's going on because that's not what we're here for. We're just here to talk about the things that are happening in their beloved franchises And now I'm going to shut up and leave give the floor to the one and only Charlotte. Go ahead.
Well, like, as beside all the stream stuff, I've been listening to Big Finish because I got a load of it for my birthday. And today I was listening to an episode actually, and it made me realise something, that it's such a difference in especially the Eighth Doctor stuff I've been listening to, and that is that the Time Lords are present. And I didn't really click how much of a difference it was until like I've been listening to the Dark Eyes stuff I've been listening to recently. And it sort of made me, in hindsight, have a different approach and view. And that is, I do sort of think, I understand what Russell did with the Time War and the sort of not making the Time Lords be a big presence in New Who. Because I think a lot of that was probably for new fans. And maybe if I'd watched it with all the Time Lords and all that canon stuff, it might have confused me. But sort of listening to audios with them being like quite a big part of it, like the Eighth Doctor stuff. And I'm sort of in hindsight thinking now, it was a bit of a miss that we didn't have that in New Who ever. Because, especially in Big Finish, because they sort of write them as these very duplicitous, sort of scheming type of people. Like they're always got something, they're sort of always in the background. And the Eighth Doctor is written very much as he's almost a pawn for them in a good chunk of his stories. Like he just sort of either gets sent on a mission, or they sort of interrupt him, or they purposely like plan stuff around him but don't tell him. And I was just thinking today, and I'd be interested to see what you think, because obviously classic sort of background and the chat, that I do sort of think in New Who it would have added a lot of a dimension. But then a bit of me's like, would I want the whole sort of lonely traveller aspect, which I do really love about the Doctor. So it's a bit today, it's put me a bit like in two minds about something. And it's like I can see the benefits of both. But it's like, which one would I rather have now? Now I've actually listened to some Who with the Time Lords being very present.
Yeah, I mean, the Russell T Time War thing has always kind of annoyed us fans, for the simple fact is we couldn't understand why he didn't want to bring back Gallifrey and the Time Lords, and this was his way of explaining it. I never fully understood that, actually.
I think it was the new fans. Honestly, that's the impression I always got. He just thought there's so much canon. There's all history. If you don't use the word canon, if you just want to use like history, that he probably thought for people like me watching in 2005 who didn't know any of that stuff, it might have been too much. I don't know.
Well, I know he kind of hinted you, because obviously we're going to get the Master obviously coming up in season 3, so he does try to introduce them, and then when we get to the specials, obviously when David Tennant is leaving, we see the Time Lords then again. So by the end, yeah, he tried to make an attempt to bring them back in some way, but I just have never understood the point of why he did it and time locked the Time War and all of this. That baffles me.
Right, it was brilliant for character development, like a lot, and I think with Russell that always tended to be something he really concentrated on. So I don't know, because if you think about so much of the Doctor's characterization in New Who, so much of it does relate back to the Time War. Like even by Capaldi's run, you could still see it was affecting him. It obviously was lessened by that point because he'd gone through the 50th, he'd gone through Gallifrey stands and all of that. But it was like always in the background, I think, and I don't know if that's what he wanted. Because it's like, compare that, because I was watching a video ages ago that was basically ripping about the Timeless Children, and they actually made the comparison between how when Russell brought the show back.
Where did you piss? You don't even see it.
Don't mind, Cheryl. The dog is just at the pee and all
sorry.
over.
No, it's all right, love. It's all right. I didn't want to be interrupted. No, and the video basically said, like, look at the Time War. Like,
Yeah.
that was a major canon change. That was a major change in the Doctor's character for fans to have to accept. But they said, look at how Russell, it was done purely for character, they argued, because it made the Doctor have this history that they could mine for character development and use in the new run. But it sort of made a bit of a clean slate, which is what I think Russell was trying. And then they obviously compared it to the Timeless Children and said, like, that does nothing for the Doctor's character. It just takes away mystery. It just, like we were saying on the stream last night, like, what is this obsession he seems to have, Chibnall?
Yeah.
That we can't be left with any blank sort of grey areas anymore, whether it's the Doctor's origin or history or anything with the show. Whereas the Time War, it was a massive change, but it's kept mysterious, which I think was quite a clever thing Russell managed to do. Because he sort of said there'd be throwaway lines, wouldn't there? Like, oh, I can remember this.
I mean, there was. Yeah, he was very clever at that. While I can't kind of wrap my head around it, I can understand where he was coming from. It would have been a lot actually to introduce new fans to, but I think personally speaking, because I'm a stickler for I'm impatient, right? So for me, season one, okay, Christopher Eccleston left. So if he had any plans of bringing them back, then they would have been scuppered, because then obviously we had a new Doctor, and he wouldn't have wanted to introduce David Tennant and the Time Lords straight away. That would have killed. So David Tennant needed to land on his feet, on the road, which he did. He hit the ground running in season 2. Let's be honest, he really did. His fourth season, he's pretty much solid. His second season that we're on now, he's brilliant, and then he gets better in season 4. Season 4 is his better series because obviously he's with the amazing Catherine Tate, and there was none of that.
It was friendship again, and it always works best when it's friendship.
Yeah. So I mean, but I probably would have introduced. Yeah, I think season 3 he introduces the Master. I mean, I suppose, he probably did it at the right speed and pace, to be quite honest with you, because look what Moffat then did. He kind of took it over then, and he spent his whole entire era figuring out a way to bring them all.
Gallifrey.
And he did. Look, I don't like the resolution myself, how he kind of brought them back, but I accept it because Gallifrey should have, for me personally, should have featured maybe in the very first episode of Rose even. That's
but
how
would you feature it though? That would be the question. Would you have him talk about it, or would you have the scene opening on Gallifrey with him?
I would have had a scene opened on Gallifrey,
right,
where the Time Lords actually need his help, and he has to go to Earth, and then he still meets Rose the way he would have met Rose. But it wouldn't have been obviously about the Nestian consciousness. It would have been a different enemy. Do you know, I would have even started off really all guns blazing. I would have actually brought the Daleks into the first episode.
No. See, I don't think that would have worked.
I don't know now. I don't know.
The build-up, obviously my memory's not brilliant because I wasn't so much into fandom at that point. I was just watching it. But even I can remember the build-up to the Dalek episode.
Yeah.
It was a proper, are we going to have it? Are we going to have it sort of thing?
Yeah, but this is why I think it would have worked. Hear me out on this. Right up until series 1, and New Who was a couple of months beforehand, they were still negotiating a deal with Terry Nation's estate, right? So the Dalek, we've actually found out that the Toclafane were actually supposed to be the main villain for series 1 of Christopher Eccleston's show.
Yeah,
but
I've heard that.
They just cured the Daleks. He quickly changed it. He did. So that's why he ends up doing it in season 3. He was supposed to originally do it in season 1. But I would have, because nobody knew, because he kept that to himself right up until the end, until it eventually was leaked, right? But he kept it up. But what a way, for me personally, what a way to start off the bloody show. Listen, you could still have, Rose where we still see through her eyes. But I think that would have been, because especially with it, look at, for me, its opening was fantastic. The viewers were on board from episode 1. But I don't know. Maybe you're probably right, but that's the way I would have went, because fans still weren't sure whether they were going to be in it or not. And what a way to start! Like, the Time Lords need the Doctor's help, because the Daleks have infiltrated and changed something with Earth's history. And it's up to him, and he bumps into Rose, and she has to help. Then she meets the Daleks for the first time, and then she'll have that shocked reaction like the audience would have. That was my whole thinking of it. But yeah, you're probably right though.
See, I'm trying to think though. I'm trying to picture Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. But that's the thing. If you would have had the Time Lords in his first season, I think his Doctor would have been a completely different Doctor.
Yeah, but he was. Yeah, I suppose you've got a point there, because
if you think about the characterization, he's based. I always classed like Eccleston as PTSD Doctor, like walking wounded Doctor, like the sort of the comparisons, which that's interesting that what I'm listening to on Big Finish, the Eighth Doctor, actually there's a lot of comparisons to him being like a soldier that's never got over the shock of war. And this is pre-Time War, but I don't know if they're sort of being a bit cheeky by trying to allude to stuff that we know is going to happen in the future a bit. But I'm just trying to think, Nine's such a big part of his character was basically being that sort of damaged character, and that's why Rose works so well. So I don't know if he would have, do you think maybe that could have worked then if you would have made him like a proper renegade then instead of like a damaged Doctor? Like that would be how you'd work around that.
You could do that, but again, you probably do have a point. That probably would have been a bit too much for the newbies. It would have been great for us as fans, because we'd be, all of our dreams be coming through at the same bleeding time, and
everything at once.
Well, I have to be honest though. When I look back at Rose, yeah, it's aged badly. It has that kind of charm to it now, but I can understand why he went that direction. Decided to take the show in the direction that he wanted to. But for me personally, I would have loved him to go out all guns blazing in the very first story and introduce everybody to the Time Lords and the Daleks, leave it on a cliffhanger, and then do a second part. You could have started off his whole era with a 3-part story. It would have been fantastic.
I think that's why I was trying to place it in my head. Like, where would I then? Because I sort of, in hindsight, I've been thinking about that today. And I do think Tennant's run, it would have worked. Like maybe series 3, like you said, that I could see that could work if they wanted to sort of have them. Because I've always said I'm sort of fed up that it's always the Master at this point. I desperately want them to create another Time Lord and have another Time Lord character, because there's certain things of who that I just think, can we have a rest now? And I think the Master and the Daleks are one of them for me at this point.
That's it. Listen, we've run out of time, because very interesting conversation again, Charlotte. You know what? You're probably right. If they probably had took my route, we probably wouldn't have a show now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Russell did play it right. And I think the pace now, when I look at it, when he tried to introduce them, was probably the right time, actually. And then hand it over. I mean, Moffat would have known he was taking over when he found out, and I say he would have had discussions with RTD while he was writing the specials, and Moffat probably made it clear to him, listen, I'm bringing Gallifrey back. I'm going to find a way over the next few seasons, so could you leave an opening in your specials, because they do know each other, they're friends, so yeah. I mean, even Moffat was willing to do a Christmas special to give Chris Chibnall some time because he felt he couldn't start the season off with a Christmas special. Well, RTD did with David Tennant, and it didn't affect season 2's performance. It was actually it brought the show to another level and continued to grow. So before you do go, though, do you want to do your usual shout outs before we bring on our next guest, which is I'm going to try Lee again.
Yeah,
first.
because he's been trying God love him the last
Yeah,
couple of
so
weeks.
we get Lee on next, and then it was Matt Jones, and then it's the Memory Factory, I think, then Spider-Man and Ninja Knight in that order. So I'll shut up now. So you go ahead, Charlotte.
Well, tomorrow I'll be watching the Sea Devils with the lads, so I look forward to listening to that. And then I sort of said this. Dan seems to like to have me on some of his panels, so I usually now and again pop up on his channel. And then in January, me and Daniel are back for some Beware and whatever else we cook up for ideas, because we chat a lot off stream, as you guys know. So we've got probably plenty of stuff planned for you guys in the new year and the next year on Daniel's channel. That's it, because I don't do social media. No. Oh, for once it's not me then. Chat, for once I'm not the one having a technical issue, which makes a change, doesn't it? Okay, I'm vamping. No, so hope. Like I said, I don't know if I can make. I'll say it here on Monday, because Monday's usually my busy night that I do other stuff.
Yeah.
So if that goes, if it happens, I'll tell you, no, and then if it doesn't go, I'll tell you, and you'll know for Monday. So I can't say definite. Yeah.
Not a bother, Grant. No, we just had everybody for some weird reason is muted, and the thing has gone a bit crazy. Haywire. It's always when we're about to finish up. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, it's not me for once. I said that. Exchange.
Noel's doing a Gary tonight. Said someone in the chat. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm a bit. Yeah, I'm a Generation X, but I may as well have been a boomer. There you go. Right, Charlotte. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You have a good one.
You too, and good luck for everybody else who comes on next. Bye bye.
See you later. Bye bye. Right, let's bring him on because he has been waiting, and I just hope this time it's fixed for him because he's got a smile on his face, so hopefully there's no delay. It doesn't look like there is. I think he might have fixed his issues. It's the one and only Lee Anthony Davis. Can you hear us, pal?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Oh, fantastic. Right, we've got you.
Just say this though, my laptop's acting really weird, right? So I'm using my mobile.
Oh, well then your mobile seems to be better than your laptop right now, mate.
Yeah.
So well done. Right, is there
I don't know what
anything
it is.
No, go ahead.
I don't know what it is, but it happened when I was on Echo Base as well. When I was on the show there, it went funny. Everyone was talking all at once.
Wow.
And I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular?
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to ask, is there anything in particular that you want to talk about tonight?
I gather you've been talking about Doctor Who and many other stuff. Black 7.
Not about our God. Yeah, actually, yeah. Do you want to tell everybody, because this is your first time on, if you want to tell everybody the name of your groups and stuff and why you set them up and how you became a fan?
I've got 20 groups, yeah, and 20 pages on Facebook. You're on one of them called Blake 7. We're your admin. I made you admin, remember? And
Yeah.
also, I've got a YouTube channel. I do a show sometimes. I do a watch along stream. I believe it's an unearthly child. So I've done mine already, you know.
Fantastic, fantastic. Do you have any plans for the channel over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm doing a watch along every week, right? Every Doctor Who from the start to the finish.
Yeah, that's what we're doing on this channel. We do it. We rotate, so we do Hartnell 1 week, we do Troughton next week, a week later, then Pertwee, so on and so on. So we're back to Pertwee again this week.
Right.
So yeah, they're very good. Yeah, a lot of people do be excited for them. So yeah, I do enjoy them. I have to be honest.
Yeah, Blake 7 is my forte as well. I mean, as you know, I've got about 150 members now. Well, you should, because you're admin as well. So if you had a look, you'll see how big it's getting.
Yeah, Blake 7. I'm watching it myself. I'm only on season 2, and I'm really enjoying it.
I know it off by
a
heart. I've seen all 4 of them. You see, Noel. I've seen a lot.
yeah,
And I've been watching it and watching it and watching it over and over again. You know, because I can't stop watching it.
yeah. I'll tell you, Lee. Problem being, would love you, man, because he's a huge fan of Blake 7 as well, and never stops going on about it. Don't you not, Lee? Watch you pop up in the chat now, talking about Blake 7. Do us a favor, while Lee is actually on the stream with me, if you can actually throw in all the links to his YouTube and as many of the links that you can get your hands on to his Facebook groups and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. But
can I say something as well? Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it,
mate.
Thank
you for bringing me on. I'd like to thank you for bringing me on your channel. I really appreciate that. I do understand you're very busy and not all the time you can sort of get to see everybody. So I'm appreciative in that way that you had the time to put me on. And I am very, very grateful indeed.
Look, man, when I seen you were having technical issues and all, I was gutted, to be honest, because you've waited so long to come on. So I was hoping you'd fix it. And then as soon as I seen you pop back up again, I says, we'll try him again. But yeah, I would have kept trying all night, though. That's the thing, to make sure that you got your say and got the chance to come on. Because, you're yeah, go for it, mate.
Question?
Yeah, walk away.
With Blake 7, right, towards the end of it, right, there was a lot of problems with the BBC that they wanted to cancel it, didn't they? They wanted to get rid of it. And I couldn't understand why they would do that, because it was very popular at the time and they killed off all the bloody characters, didn't they? And
well, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that
the program was beginning to take off.
I didn't know that because I'm only on series 2. I've never watched this show before, so you've spoiled it for me.
No, I promise I haven't spoiled it for you, but towards the end you'll get annoyed because you'll say, "Why did they do that? Why did they do that?"
You know, it's one of those, is it?
Could have had another 10 series.
Yeah, that's sad when they end the show like Blake 7 so prematurely, because 2 seasons in, and I think this is a very good show. I'm actually surprised the amount of times that BBC or ITV would produce a sci-fi show and they'd run it for a few seasons and then that'd be at its height and then they just pull the plug on it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, with Doctor Who, right, we understand that change has to happen because of what's happened with the BBC. We know what they got to do, but do they have to make it controversial? Do they have to make themselves relevant? Why do they have to do that with a programme that should not be used as a political platform? It was for everybody to enjoy, children, grown-ups, and then suddenly they have a U-turn and they decide, well, why don't we go for controversiality and make it talkable? Because all they've done is make it talkable. Nothing else. They haven't done anything with the program. I can't recall a great episode that would bring any emotion to the viewer. There's no engagement with the program itself. And I find that utterly ridiculous. You can't do anything like that with a program has got a constant, it's an institution for everybody from the 1960s right through to currently 2017. That is when it all went wrong. Why did they do it? Because they did it in 1989. They did the same thing. They launched it against bloody Coronation Street. It was getting bloody 17 million viewers. Why do it? Well, because they wanted to take it off the air.
Yeah, they either want to take it off the air or they just don't trust Chris Chibnall, and they're basically letting his contract run out and they'll just let him do what he wants to do. But see, that's a dangerous game to play as well, because how much damage are they willing to let him do before they decide, right, enough is enough, or maybe we shouldn't let him let his contract run out.
It's not science fiction.
You're right. It's not.
He's a drama writer, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right. It's not science fiction anymore. There's nothing science fiction about this current era. Nothing.
He's a drama writer, Chibnall, isn't he? He's a drama writer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
He's just drama.
He's all right at doing drama, but listen, there's no harm of having a bit of drama in Doctor Who, Grant. But you've got to get the balance right. You've got to put the sci-fi in there as well. And and look, sometimes, I know this current fandom or the current people that watch the show, Chris Chibnall likes to explain everything to them. But there are fans out there that like to figure things out for themselves. And that's another thing that I find that he's done. He's kind of, what's the word? It is dumbed down. He's kind of dumbed down the show, brought it down to a certain level. And it didn't need to. You can still write an intelligent sci-fi program with having your bit of drama in it. And whatever message you want to send to your audience, you can do it within the confines of the show. They did it during the classic era. They showed how they could do it during the classic era. I can't... I mean, I don't know why Chris Chibnall doesn't learn from the classic era, but he just shoehorns everything in. That's the difference. He just puts it front and center, and the story plays a background role. The story should be front and center, and whatever message you have can be in the undertones of the story that you're telling. You don't have to force it and ram it down people's throats.
You know what I reckon, right? When they brought it back in 2005, when Russell T Davies took it over, they had to make it good, right? It had to be successful. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had any Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
So we had all that brilliant music, the emotion, the story, the plots. Some characters a bit dubious, but they still worked. And when we got season 2, it seemed to disappear. And then it started to go in a different direction.
Yeah. I mean, Series 11, he tried to take it. Chris Chibnall, he tried something different. It didn't work, right? He'll always be commended for that. He did try something different. We didn't like it, fair enough. But he did try something different. Then Series 12, he tried to give us the familiar.
Why doesn't he engage? Why doesn't he engage with people instead of hiding away, trying to be some sort of demigod? Why does he do that?
Because he doesn't care. He thinks he's writing something spectacular, and he doesn't think that he has to answer to anybody. And writers like him and showrunners like him are dangerous because, if they're not willing to listen to the fans, then we've already seen, he's already said it's not a democracy. They'll do whatever they want to do while they're writing the show. And he's proven that time and time again. He won't listen to the fans. He has been quite cold. Let's be honest, since Series 11, when he went on all those panels in the Comic Cons, they've done nothing since, right? They've been very cold. They've been very distant towards the audience. they'll give them during the lockdown. He gave us a story, and then he got other people to write stories for him because he couldn't be bothered. Because, well, he'll use the excuse that he was writing the series, right? But we've already found out that they've reduced the episodes. So you mean to tell me he hadn't got time in between writing scripts to like say hello to the fans, or as you said, engage with the fans, even if he takes it in the neck, right? And fans give him a piece of their mind. That's what he's there for. He should just listen. People have a lot to vent. Let them vent, so then they can clear the air then, and then he can come out then and say then give a response to it. Of course, he's that egotistical that I think his response would be, I don't care. I'll do what I want to do. And that's what it seems to have happened, Lee. And it's sad. I have to be honest. It really is. But listen, we have run out of time. But before you go, I'll give you the opportunity again to let everybody know where they can find you on YouTube. I know the moderators have been throwing it up. And if you want to mention some of your groups as well, do that as well,
Yeah.
and let them know where you are on social media. Go ahead.
Well, before I do that, can I once again thank you and all your fabulous viewers that watch your show, what you try to do for them, and how you sort of like to sort of engage with people, and really, really, you do care. And I'm really glad to see you doing that, because it makes people feel that they're part of it, and you give them that voice that they need.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Listen, it's always been my goal. Even in the early days, we had the phone-ins. I've always wanted to have it as engaging as possible, because I do believe over the last 3 years that fans like you ourselves and myself have been ignored, and they haven't had a platform to have a voice. So, that's why I decided to do this, and I'll continue to do it no matter how much drama there is surrounding the channel. We will continue to bring people on like yourself, because, you do have a right to have your voices heard. And I hate the way the other side of the fandom treat you, the way they act. They do not control this fandom. That's the message I'm simply sending.
Can
with
I say
these.
this? Are they fans though? Are they really fans? Do they know the program? Or are they just doing it because they're jumping on a bandwagon that gives them a platform? I've seen it on Twitter where somebody says something and then somebody leaps on them and then they start attacking. It's almost as if they're looking to propel themselves.
Yeah.
To make themselves relevant. And all they're doing is digging themselves to irrelevancy.
Yeah. Yep. Spot on, mate. Spot on. But we'll keep doing what we're doing. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, I can tell you that. We'll as I said, these Friday nights going on.
Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for having me on here. It's been a pleasure.
No problem. Listen, it's an honor having you on. But just give you a few shout outs to your channel there and where you are on social media and stuff, so we can get, as I said, your links are going in, but just so everybody can hear from yourself. Go ahead.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do that. I've got an official .2 group. I've got Blake's 7 group. I've got the science fiction group. I've got the comedy sitcom group. I've got the drama group. I've got the Hammer Horror group. Let's see now. That's 7. I'm not going to give you them all because you should all look on there so you see what I mean. Because I could be here all night. Because I've got 20 pages as well.
That's true.
So I'm not going to do that. I promise. But also I've got a YouTube channel that you all know about. I'm looking to hit 100, right? 100.
Well, listen, let's show what you're on now. Lee, what you're on now? Let us. How many subscribers have you got right now? Right. Let's see if we can get by the time the show ends. Right. Let's see if we can get them to 100 subscribers before we finish tonight, and we still have a few more guests to come on. So let's do it. Let's throw his channel in there again, his YouTube channel in there again. Throw it in every couple of minutes, so we can get as many people to sub to him as possible. Listen, Lee, it's been an absolute honor having you on. And thank you for your kind
Thank you
words.
very
I
much.
really
And
appreciate it.
also, I'd like to thank you for taking the job as admin on my Blake 7 group. Thank you very much. I appreciate
No
that very
problem,
much.
man. No problem at all. I
And I'd
appreciate you
like to
making me
thank
happy.
Daniel as well. I'd like to thank Daniel Connor Leach, who I've been giving a lot of support to, and also he's made me moderator of his group along with Dave Travels Through Time, and I'm very grateful for that. Really am.
No problem at all. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, pal. You have a good
I'd love
weekend.
to come on again. I'd love to come
No
on again. I'd
problem.
love to go on one of your watch-alongs. I'd love that. You know, brilliant stuff.
No bother. Well, listen, you can join us on Monday for the anniversary stream if you like.
Fantastic.
No problem then. Right, I'll see you then. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good one.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the viewers. All right?
See you later, pal. Bye-bye. And that was Lee, everybody. Absolutely fantastic. And if you could do us a favor and subscribe to his channel, that was an absolutely brilliant call, actually, I have to say. He's a good man, good man. He's always trying to put up new stuff for you all, keep you entertained. So please do subscribe to his channel. He's a bit of fun, as you're seeing there as well. Oh, and Ted is just at the hurting himself. He got himself a cotton something as usual because he's just a weirdo. Right, we've got Matt Jones coming on next, so we might as well bring him on. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
I can hear you. How are you?
Hi there. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Not too bad. I'm not too bad. What would you like to talk about tonight?
We'll start off with the anniversary episode.
No problem. Go ahead.
Well, I was just how can they dish up such tripe on the anniversary of Doctor Who? I don't think hardly anyone wants to watch that again. You know, it's one of the lowest rated ever. I think that's what they're trying to do, try to boost the ratings.
Yeah, for me, I think it's, I said this last night, I think it's a cynical move by them. Always on the anniversary, they do highlight the other doctors, but they make a special effort to highlight William Hartnell's era and an unearthly child. For them to deviate from this and to put the timeless children on instead is, for me, BBC sending a message to us to tell us that, and telling us that, well, the timeless child is actually the very first incarnation, whether you like it or not. It's another attempt from the BBC to push this agenda.
Yeah, as the beginning. It's new. It's not Doctor Who.
No.
This is what I'm concerned. They broke the canon 50 years down the toilet, as far as I'm concerned. Like a lot of the other people, you know, I'm watching other stuff now, you know.
Yeah.
I've got my old Doctor Who. I can watch that whenever I want.
Yeah.
But like you, I've now found the Mandalorian. I found the love of Star Wars that I lost has come back, and hopefully Doctor Who one day will be the same when that come back. The love that I had for that once.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've still got love for the old stuff, but
yeah, that'll never go away, though. That's the thing, Matt. I mean, the love that you have for classic Who is not going to go away, no matter what he tries to do. I mean, look, you've already said it yourself. You don't think that this current era is canon because it broke canon. So you keep. I mean, a lot of fans like yourself have that attitude, and you know, I don't think that's a bad attitude to have. Because, you know, when you think back at this current era, it does cause an awful lot of hurt and upset. And I know some fans out there don't get that, but we grew up with this show. There is an emotional attachment to it, which the other side will never get because they never hang around long enough to get attached to these shows. And that's what bothers me. They move like locusts. They move from one franchise to the next. They don't stay loyal. And that's what bothers me. But look, you're right. Doctor Who one day, and I do believe this, will come back, and it will be good again. there's no way that it can get any worse, in fairness. Well, in saying that, we do have, I see your Star Wars stuff there. Ah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I got them out. I got shelves full of old stuff and new
Hold
stuff.
on,
I
I'm gonna
don't buy the new
remove.
stuff, but I get given it as presents, you know.
Hold on, I'll
So I
remove me
keep
for
it.
a second so I can big screen it and show everybody.
Yeah, it's my AT-AT. It's not the original one I had as a kid. My mum decided to give all my Star Wars stuff away to the jumble. But yeah, I've got original AT-AT. It's a bit lagging, but got original AT-AT driver, 1980. I can't. I've got my glasses on, so I can't tell you what year.
That's bloody fantastic, there is. I have to be honest.
AT-AT Commander. Yes, I've got loads of stuff. I've got, like I said, shelves of it. I've just moved that round. It's like it's lagging. This is like 5 or 10 seconds. The camera is from this. Here is the base star that I've from Battlestar Galactica. It's a model. I've painted it. I haven't quite finished that yet. That's an ongoing project. I've got Boba Fett. I've got a Django Fett. I've got some Yodas and stuff, but not a child. I like IG-88 as well. IG-11 is good on the show, but I don't know why they didn't go for the back to the original, whether it's an early model or not. But yeah, so yeah, the Mandalorian has reawoken my love of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as I've said several times on this channel, I've always been more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan. But I have to be honest, thanks to the Mandalorian, I've kind of went back. We watched the original trilogy on this channel. We did watch alongs, and because of this show, I have to be honest. I said this. This is why I'll defend the Mandalorian. It's made me fall in love with Star Wars. So yeah, I'm loving it right now. I haven't watched the latest episode. I have it there. Haven't watched it yet, but I've seen spoiler-free reviews of it, and everybody seems to be happy with it. We do have a guest coming on later on who's a Star Wars fan. It'll be interesting to see if they've seen some of the spoiler-free reviews. And
I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to download it later.
Yeah, it should be a lot of people said it bridged a lot of the gaps between the different universes or something. I don't know, but a lot of Star Wars fans seem to be positive about this week's story. So that's nice to see, because last week I was a little bit disappointed, I have to be honest. But this week's one seems to be getting good reviews. So I'll only know when I watch it myself, of course. But look, thanks for showing us your stuff. That's absolutely fantastic, mate.
Yeah, I've got loads more. I've got a bomber, TIE fighter bomber, Walker, ATST, all sorts on the shelves. Yeah.
You know, you're the envy of Lee right now. Problem being, he's a huge Star Wars fanatic, and I can see that there's a couple of other people as well. They're in the private chat talking about your stuff. I mean, look, when you told me though that a lot of parents did do this, you bring up a good point. You said, a lot of me Star Wars stuff was thrown out.
Yeah, it was in the attic.
A lot back in the day, didn't it? And a lot of years I look at the stuff I had, and it's probably worth loads now. I say that look when that stuff happens because I've had some. I still have the original box set. Actually, I don't know why I've managed to keep it survive, but I've got the original 2005 TARDIS box set that's shaped as a TARDIS, like it's an actual box, a piece box. The box set, that was worth a few quid back in the day. I wonder if it's worth that now. Probably isn't worth shit now, but like that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, is there some Star Wars stuff that you had back in the day that you wish you still had now?
Yeah, I'm obviously still missing some of the figures. I want to get an original Boba Fett, but they're about 50 quid now.
Wow. Wow.
Like most people, I've been made redundant.
Yeah.
So at the moment, money is tight.
Yeah.
Looking for a new job, not a lot about the stuff you apply for. Nobody hardly ever responds to you. But
I know. Look at it's desperate what's going on out there. I mean, there has to be some sort of. But now, look at the first lockdown. I was in agreement with because obviously, you know, we didn't know what this thing was. We didn't know how dangerous or whatever it was. But I think there seriously has to be a rethink here because you have to get the balance right between letting people work, keeping the economy going, and also protecting people. I know it's going to be a pain in the hole, but these people that are in government, right? It's the same over here in Ireland. It's their job, it's their responsibility, along with the health experts, to come up with a viable plan so people can actually work. Yeah, it's absolutely disgraceful that a man like yourself, who probably enjoys work and cannot go out there and find a job because of the government. The government, but yeah, they'd be the very same government that we were in good times and you are going through hard times and you couldn't get a job, would be hounding you every second to say, well, go and get a job or you're not getting benefit and all of this crap. Like the very same government, like they're an absolute. Look, it's happening here in Ireland, so I understand where you're coming from. It's absolutely, there has to be a balance somewhere. You know, these experts, health experts as well, have been talking riddles for the last year. Anyway, if you ask me, like, is it dangerous? Is it not dangerous? Do we have to work? Can we work? Can we not work? Straight answers, please. I think that's what's annoying most people now is you don't have a straight answer when you can actually go back to, go and get yourself a job when businesses are going to open up again so you can go and get a job. This is the thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. There has to be some sort of balance now because we cannot continue like this for the foreseeable future. It's not viable. That's not.
It. I can't collect anything anymore.
That's what I mean. They probably stopped from collect. That's what I mean. They've probably put things in place now that you can't even collect a bit of money to keep you bleeding, floating until you do something better comes along and you get a job. That's what I mean. It's disgraceful. This is a pan that they never made. Look at the end of the day, I know this is unprecedented, right? But they should have straight away been thinking of strategies to combat things like this for when people were out of work. Now, I didn't know they did the furlough scheme, and I know that didn't actually reach everybody. So, I mean, they got it wrong, and they got it wrong here as well. And, you know, it's disgraceful. I'll give you a few more minutes because I have actually talked on this because it is important. I really hate the fact that men like yourself can't get out there and get a job because basically there's restrictions everywhere and businesses can't open up or building sites can't open up or whatever it is you can't do because of the government. It's not your fault. It's the government and the health experts' fault. And that's what annoys me. A lot of good people are losing their jobs. It's an absolute disgrace. There has to be a balance somewhere. There has to be.
I used to make parts for Airbus, and basically they don't need any parts because there's hardly any planes flying there. Well, they're not going to be buying any more planes at the moment.
Jesus. See what I mean? Air travel, yeah, but like I think we can kind of understand that one to a certain extent. But Jesus Christ, you mean to tell me that you couldn't find a way around getting people safely across that wherever they need to go? I mean, I know people will say, well, but you're letting people travel all around the world. But I mean, look, how many?
It's just they're not going to be buying new planes or maintaining as many planes as they used to. Is basically what it
So
is.
there you go. It is becoming a joke, Daniel. You're right. It's becoming a joke. And I mean, I don't know what the end game is for them. I mean, we're going to bankrupt economies now at this stage. Air travel as well is never going to recover from this. Neither is the cinema. Some of these businesses that are out there will be affected for the foreseeable future because of this. The first lockdown I got, it was necessary, but this one, I don't know. And then they're talking about this is what doesn't make any sense, and I'll give you a couple of minutes on this one. But what doesn't make sense to me is they're thinking in the UK, they're thinking of lifting the restrictions over the Christmas period, right? So again, they're giving conflicting information. They're telling us to stay at home because this thing is dangerous, but it's okay to visit your family and friends Christmas. So it's either lockdown or no lockdown. Simple as that at this stage. It's like you can't keep doing this to people. It's wrong. Well,
I'm a single person, so I'm in a bubble with my sister and her family.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm going there for Christmas this year. I'd usually go to my parents, my mum and stepfather.
Again, that's what I mean. Everybody, Christmas plans and all now, obviously, it's not going to be the same as every other year. I think a lot of people in the long run, though, will appreciate this Christmas a lot more than they have others, to be honest with you, because it's become too commercial. The fact that we can't really go out anywhere, I don't think there'll be a flurry of Christmas shoppers this year anyway. To be honest, most stuff will.
No one's got the money, and all the shops are going bust. By look at
exactly. So I mean, it's a weird situation. But listen, before you do go, have you got a channel there?
I have started a channel. I haven't got any video content on it yet, but I'm gonna do some stuff. I think Star Wars related, probably. Start off with some figures and stuff. And
have you got a name for your channel so we can get a few people to subscribe to you before you put content up? So you have you have a couple of people there anyway, at least. Have you got the name?
I think it's just Matt Jones. I don't know. I've just set it up with using my Google account, same Google account that's showing up here.
Right. Well, then, if one of you guys can find it in the chat for me, if you could find the channel, I know it'll be probably hard because when nobody has subscribers, it's a nightmare.
Well, I'm not fussed anyway because I haven't made anything yet. So but I've started. I've started downloading the software onto my laptop to do this kind of stuff. So
well, listen, it's been fantastic first call, and listen, you're more than welcome to come on every Friday. I put the link in the chat all the time.
I'd like to come on to maybe a Mandalorian watch along sometime if you.
Listen, I mean, we've only got there's myself, Lee, and Ninja Knife for that one, and sometimes Rabbi, if he gets the chance, joins us for it. But if you want to come on, if you're a Star Wars fan anyway, I'd be honored to have you on actually.
Thank you.
This Wednesday we do the Mandalorian, so I'll send you a link, mate. Right?
Cool. I'll come on. Yeah, brilliant.
Right, listen, you enjoy your weekend, pal. I'll talk to you soon.
And you, and everyone else in the zone.
Thanks very much, pal. Listen, you look after yourself. Stay safe.
And you. Bye.
Bye. Right, that was Matt, a first-time caller, by the way. So again, see, this is when we get new callers on, we love them, especially when they're such huge fans like Matt is. That was absolutely fantastic. That was. Right, so who do we have next in the chat? We've got the Memory Factory, Spider-Man, and Ninja Knight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring me fellow Irishman on first, if you don't mind, guys, because he does work. So he does. He's up early in the morning. I don't know if he's working this weekend, but doesn't matter. Haven't we were on his channel on Wednesday. So yeah, we'll bring him on now. It's the one and only Ninja Knight.
All right, pal. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Good, man. Fantastic stream. Everybody that's been on tonight has been absolutely on fire, and it's been wonderful to watch, I have to say.
Thanks. I have to be honest with you. Yeah, they've been all brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah.
We had Leon earlier. Charlotte was on. Everybody was fantastic. So, May, we know you're a Star Wars fan too, or
Yeah.
you might talk about something completely different, which is why I love having you on. So, is there anything that has attracted your attention this week that you feel that needs to be brought up and highlighted?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the recent episode of The Mandalorian. I'll probably get a chance to watch it tomorrow evening, so I'm probably going to be staying away from spoilers as much as possible. But I have to say, I think it's interesting after last week's episode. I think the spoiler side of things, I'm actually not too concerned at this stage, because I can see the course of that series starting to veer off now. And I think, excuse me, I think it's in big trouble at the moment, But as far as today is concerned, well, this week there was a Transformers crossover, and you've just popped up one of my screens today, and it's of the Hasbro Pulse. I've just revealed G.I. Joe, classified Flint and Lady J. So for anyone that's a G.I. Joe fan, I don't know if you're a G.I. Joe fan, are you? No.
I watched the cartoon.
I remember the cartoon. Yeah.
And then I did watch the Christopher Eccleston led movie, the first G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah, Destro. He was Destro on that. I actually quite liked him as Destro. But these were dropped today, and very cool looking action figures. I'm going to be doing a talk on them. I've recorded a video on it, but I have to say, for all those people out there that call us all sorts of woman haters, I'm very disappointed by the head sculpt on Lady J. For a character that is supposed to be absolutely stunningly beautiful, I find that this head sculpt is really poor. It's very average looking. It doesn't look good whatsoever. And I talk about that in the video, but that's where it's at. And there's another thing I just wanted to show you as well. So let me stop that screen and I'll show you. What I was talking about, the Transformers crossover series, and I think this one will certainly excite the fans here because it's something I would love to see. And this is just an artist rendition from Pinterest. See if I can find it now. Hang on.
Not a bother, pal. And
we'll show you now. Should be there now.
It is indeed. I'll throw it up now. There you go.
Now that is, as you can see, it's an artist rendition of the TARDIS transforming into a robot. And I have to say, I would love to see that.
Hold on. I want a big screen so everybody can actually see it. So I'll remove myself. And we'll leave Ninja Knight there because he's shared it, obviously. So I'll remove me.
I don't know if that's if it's any bigger now. Yeah, so that's it looks like the TARDIS transforming into a robot there. Now, this isn't official, and I don't know who the artist is who did this, so I can't credit them, unfortunately. It is up on Pinterest, but I think it's a very interesting thing to do. So, if you guys are interested out there in seeing this, make sure you hit up Hasbro, tweet at them, and tell them that you'd love to see a Transformers crossover with Doctor Who. And yeah, because we've seen Ghostbusters once, we've seen Maverick from Top Gun, we've seen Back to the Future one recently, and we've seen an X-Men crossover with Transformers, and I would love to see a TARDIS where it turns into a Transformer. It would be sick. What do you reckon?
Well, the reaction in the chat is most people are saying they want that.
Yeah.
I think I think I've seen this somewhere before. But look, Yes, I would definitely love to see some sort of something like that across. That is, look, make that, and I'd buy it. And I'd love it for the simple fact is I could transform it into this, obviously, and then if I didn't like looking at it anymore, then I could change it back into the TARDIS for a while, and then back again. That's a brilliant idea. But see, they used to be clever at making toys like this in the past. I don't think enough. I don't know if you agree with me because you cover a lot of the toys and stuff on your channel. Can I ask you, because I've noticed with some of the Doctor Who stuff, the quality, so it's varied, right? Some stuff you'll get in Doctor Who will be absolutely fantastic. The likeness will be fantastic, and then there'll be other stuff where it's like they just lost all. You know, they didn't put in any effort at all. What's the quality of the stuff that you're reviewing? Is it high quality, or are they lowering the quality to try sell all of these things?
Well, with the Transformers brand over the last couple of years, it's only improved in quality, in my opinion. Now, you will get an awful lot of gaps and stuff like that within the figure themselves, but overall, they're pretty sturdy in what's called an alternate mode. So the likes of the cars, the planes, and stuff like that. And then when you transform into the robot, then they are quite sturdy and they do look well. I think Hasbro are a good company. They are very much so interested in doing these crossovers. And believe you me, these crossover just happened with Back to the Future. It's just going to be released, I think, this month. And that only happened because fans asked for it. So you need to tell Hasbro if you would like to see this. And I think you will notice as well, too, it does say police box on this as well, across the top of the chest. And you make sure that this is something that you would like to see, because they are making these characters, they are doing these crossovers. Chris Persia just said in the chat he checked out my video on the X-Men animated series Transformers crossover. Those things are only happening because those things are popular. So, and because fans want them. Fans are actually telling the company, this is what we want, this is what we want. And I've seen many people on the forums have also said that they would love to see a TARDIS made as a transformer, and I think it's perfect for a transformer. Could you imagine?
Listen, I would buy a couple of days, because my brother is a fan of Transformers as well. So this would be, and he watches Doctor Who as well. Now I don't know if he's watched the current era, but he was watching up until Peter Capaldi. I know that. But he would love something like this as well. Like this is a multi gift. You know, you could give this to a Transformer fan or a Doctor Who fan. I think it's a great. Listen, if you want to put the links to Hasbro or whatever you need to do to get fans to actually push for this, then please do that while you're on this stream, and then we can do it, because I think that, look, I would love to see that, absolutely.
That's
something I'd be interested in.
And here's the thing, what they've been doing with the recent figure as well too, with the Transformers one, they've made mini figures as well too to go with that. I mean, you know, you're talking about how you would buy, you know, 3 or 4 of them. Could you imagine like one of these, for example, painted in a certain way or something like that, coming with 3 little mini figures of 3 certain Doctors? Do you know what I'm saying? And then you could have like a repaint of this. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that don't even say that even sounds I mean, look, Daniel said he'd buy. I know if Rabbi would snap one. He'd snap several of these up. I think Rabbi would. Lee has also expressed that he'd buy. A lot of people are saying they'd be down for this. So definitely before you leave, throw that link up for everybody, will you? If you have a Hasbro link or whatever you need us to do. Because I would certainly like, this would be a deadly Christmas. Now, we probably wouldn't get it this side this year, but this would definitely be a great birthday present or a Christmas gift for next year.
Yeah, no, would, and they've been making some cool characters, and what they've been doing with these characters is they have been kind of taking off certain aspects. So, for example, with Maverick, they have a helmet that looks like what he would have worn in the plane, and then you also with the X-Men one that has like Cyclops' visor with an X. So I think something that I would ask as well too would be, which Doctors, or how would you figure in someone that could be you know, how could you put in, say, Tom Baker's Doctor into this? How could you put maybe, you know, some of like the likes of Pertwee and stuff like that into it? Or, you know what I mean, like maybe Tennant or something? How would you, you know, factor in something that was very, intrinsic to those guys. Even Eccleston or Capaldi, even that would be something I think would be very cool. But yeah, it leaves itself open for interpretation. Hasbro like doing repaints as well, folks. So that means then you could get little mini figures of different Doctors, like I suggested as well too, and that would be a good money maker too, in my opinion. I think that would be quite strong. I think I might do a video on it as well too, and I will drop the links, like I said, into NoSap. But I just wanted to see what you thought, Noel, about this, because I thought, is there a desire for it or not?
No, definitely would be. I mean, look, we're obsessed with that, especially with the Tardis. And even though this is a transformer, the fact that it'd be able to transform them back into a TARDIS if you didn't want to transform it into the robot, I think that's it. Listen, again, I'll say it again. Back in the day, when it came to creating toys, they were very creative.
Yeah.
And this is creative. And, this company knows what they're doing. They're clever. Yeah. They're appealing to the fans. They know exactly what they're doing. And the thing about it is nobody on the other side can kind of give out, because if they even make suggestions, they probably do their suggestions too. So it is a good idea. It's a smart way for a company to appease so-called these SJW fans. It's very clever. It's a good business model. I'd be up for that any day. Have to say, it looks, I know it's concept art, but that does look amazing.
It looks cool, doesn't it? I'd like to know how to say. What would you think about a 6-inch line that would be kind of like I just showed with the G.I. Joes as a Doctor Who line? Would that be something that people would be interested, or you would be interested in, like hyper articulated 6-inch figures? Or, because you could get, like, for example, you could do things like the Sundarans, like you're saying there as well too, or various Doctors, like a Build-A-Figure you could have. Do you know what I mean? Some of the companions as well too. That's all stuff I think people would buy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, Doctor Who fans would. Look, at Doctor Who fans are crying out for new stuff all the time. Right now, we kind of get recasts and repaints and stuff like that. But they do throw in some original and new stuff. But fans are always crying out for new merchandise. They are, especially if it's aimed at the classic era. So yeah, I mean, look, I think the reaction to the chat tells you all you need to see. I mean, they're all up for it. So as I said, us fans, we scream out for stuff. I mean, for example, Chris has just had to share something with me there now that I'll show you. It actually adds to what you were saying there. It's a picture here of the Ghostbusters transformer.
Yeah, Ectotron.
So there you go. And he even sent me an X-Men one. So hold on, I'll stop the screen there for a second. We'll get the other one up for you. Obviously, because it's his private account, I don't want to show anything that I shouldn't be showing. Because on the Tardis Zone, we believe in privacy, unlike the governments of the world. But there you go. That can't be helped. Right, we'll add this one. Here's one now. This is an X-Men one.
Yeah, the X-Men one looks absolutely fantastic, I think. I think I've liked all of them, to be honest with you. I have all of these crossover ones. Yeah, the X-Men one looks phenomenal, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one does actually look fantastic, I have to be honest. Yeah. But again, they're listening to fans, as you said, and they deserve the success. And Hasbro, let's be honest, this company has been up and down over the years. It's had its really bad years, but if they're doing stuff like this, they've always kind of been ahead of the game, though. So fair play to them, and a continued success is what I say. Just before we leave, because we have run out of time, but because I was kind of talking as well, is there anything else you want to briefly bring up before we I get you to call out your channel and do your shout outs and stuff?
I suppose that's really it. Like, I was just going to run back on something we talked about the other day. Currently, Dublin Zoo is up to €2 million now. So the public have done absolutely phenomenal here in what seems like staving off the Dublin Zoo closure. So that's pretty positive at the moment. But like I said to you the other day, and I mean, I know something that you felt very strongly about public.
Yeah, the public. Yeah, but again, the fact that the government will say, well, we'll double it, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. You shouldn't even be asking the Irish public to say to do in the situation that we're in right now. Yes, when we have money in our pockets again and we're able to go out and work and do all those things that we were able to do before, then to ask us then. Maybe then we'll say, okay, these are still a bit cheeky asking us, but we'll give them a dig out. But fair play to the Irish public. They never cease to amaze me. This is why we're one of the best people in the world. Seriously, when it comes to charity or it comes to causes like this, we step up. And it's the one thing that I love about this country. We always step up when we're asked to step up, even though sometimes I do think we shouldn't and let the government rot. But we don't like seeing animals. That's one thing. Where we don't want to lose our zoo. We might complain about how shit it is, but we still don't want to lose our zoo. Right, I'm going to shut up now and let you do your shout outs and stuff.
Yeah, so like I said before, on this channel, it's wonderful stuff to be on here, and I have to say, like, really appreciate what Noel does and having people on and talking away about various different things. And you know, it's been a wonderful panel again tonight, and the chat has been absolutely amazing again tonight. It never fails to amaze me how positive the chat is here, and that's great. And that's a real big reflection on you as well too, how open and positive you are about the things that you love. And my name is obviously Ninja Knight here on YouTube. You can find me Ninja Knight on YouTube. My letters are all capitalized and I have a black background with red writing. I'm also on Twitter at _Ninja Knight. I'm over on Parler as well too at the Ninja Knight 44. I'm on Instagram. I have a Facebook group as well too, Ninja Knight, if you'd like to join there. And like I said before, make sure you do please subscribe to Noel and help share. Make sure you like the videos as well too. That's really important as well. And make sure, you know, this is a fandom that really is going to move forward, because it's on tender hooks at the minute now, folks. And Doctor Who needs to survive, because it's something that survived for generations. And with every piece of news and every bit of pushback from you as fans, it's what's going to keep it alive. Otherwise, these SJWs are going to absolutely drive her into the ground and kill it. You know, so important.
Thanks very much. And listen, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Of course, we'll be 2 streams on my channel on Wednesday. Obviously, we've got What's the Crack and we've got the Mandalorian review as well to come up. I'm looking forward to them with you, pal. But listen, you enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and you know, don't do that. I wouldn't do, which is we can't really do very much for fucking that, mate. But you know yourself, you know, madness.
I do.
See you later, pal. Have a good one.
See you later, pal. Talk to you soon. Good luck.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That was Ninja Knight. Absolutely fantastic. Right. Let's bring him on. It's the Memory Factory.
You said my name wrong. It's the Memory Factory.
The Memory Factory. Sorry. I apologize. So what would you like to talk about?
Sorry, you were saying?
I said, what would you like to talk about?
What would I like to talk about? That is a very good question. I literally have no idea. I am sorry. What would I like to talk about? You were talking about politics before.
Politics?
Yes. What political party do you support, Mr. Noel?
I don't support any political party, to be honest with you. I don't like any of the parties in Ireland, so I don't support any.
If you were in the UK, though, which one would you vote for?
I wouldn't pick any of the political parties in the UK either. I think they're all a bunch of twats.
Mean. Not even like the UKIP party.
No, why would I support you? They're a bunch of racists.
Because they want to ban the burger. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, do you want to talk about pop culture, or are you just on to have a bit of a laugh and make a name for yourself?
I'm not come on to make a name for myself.
Oh,
I'll say that.
Right. Well, do you want to stick to the topic of conversation which we've been having? So you can talk about Doctor Who or anything in pop culture that you want to talk about.
We'll talk about that first one. So I heard you were saying that you're not. You think this? Do you think the show shouldn't be political then?
No, I'm not saying the show should be political. The show in the classic era was political, but what's happened with this era is they pushed the politics front and center. Whereas in the classic era, it was about the story and whatever situation. Like, for example, they were doing the whole oil and coal episodes in classic era.
Yeah,
And
that was quite on the nose. That's more on the nose than all of Chibnall.
Yeah, but you see, the thing about it is they did it with balance. They showed both sides of an argument. Now
Did
there
they?
is no both
What,
sides
what,
of an argument.
what did they show both sides? I don't think they did. I don't think they were wrong to not show both sides. But I mean, like, for example, Rosa Parks episode. What is the other side of that? Oh yeah, racism was pretty good. Rosa Parks shouldn't have gotten up on the bus. I mean, come on, that's silly. Demons of the Punjab or whatever it was called. That one. What's the other side of that going to be? Oh yeah, I don't think Muslims and Hindus should get married. That's shit. And they did show that as well, but they showed how toxic of a mentality that was.
No. See, the thing about right, you don't do Rosa Parks or Demons of the Punjab or cover those stories in Doctor Who. No, you
Why
don't.
not?
Because they're
Why
very.
not? They did the massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve.
You asked me a question, so let me answer it.
Oh,
and then
my bad.
Then you can respond. Yeah, that's how it works, right? So you've asked me a question, I'll answer it. Right.
Sorry.
Here's two very sensitive issues, okay, that you're dealing with in a sci-fi show. You're never gonna be able to do those topics that you're doing, like the Rosa Parks or Demons of the Punjab, that whole era. You're not going to be able to tell the story with respect. You're not going to be able to put in everything that you need to put in. There was both sides of these arguments. You mightn't like the fact that there was both sides, but it's very important in society, and especially in a show like Doctor Who that's doing this, it's very important that you show both sides. That's
what
how
it's important to. It's important. Do you think it's important to show that Hindus and Muslims shouldn't marry?
You have to show everything that went on to do these stories justice, is what I'm saying. I've made it clear. If you're gonna highlight these issues, you've got to show everything, because then you leave it up to your audience. See, that's what they used to do back in the day. You leave it up
no,
to
they didn't. They didn't.
To talk about it, to do all the things that they knew, so we can come to some sort of common ground and say, right, this. They didn't do the Rosa Parks story with respect. They had some guy in it that was just there to be racist, right?
Yeah, but there are people like that.
For getting off the bus. But no, you don't do that story. That was a very highly charged time. Right? You don't do those stories. You don't do those stories in Doctor Who. It's as simple as that.
Why not? Why not, though? If it's an educational program and those were the times, why not?
Why can't BBC? Why can't BBC? Ted, be quiet. Why can't BBC then do a separate Rosa Parks documentary?
Yeah, but like you can do it in the show as well, because it's the point. The point of it is to educate kids.
Why can't they?
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. I'll let you answer. I'll let you answer, didn't I? I think because the point was to make it educational, wasn't it? That was his intent.
Yeah, but you're not educating anybody, because you're not giving your audience enough to work on.
Well, no, but it was about the historical events. Not every child knows about the Rosa Parks.
You're showing your version of history. You're showing your version through your eyes.
What other version of Rosa Parks is that?
Subjective. He's not being balanced in what he's trying to tell us. He's showing it through his eyes, just like Mallory Blackman did when she showed Rosa Parks through her eyes. Through her eyes. She didn't say she's not American, right? Okay, if you want to cover Rosa Parks, you get in someone.
Why do you need to get an American?
You get someone that understands the actual thing that you're trying to write.
Mallory, well, it's racism. It's not complicated.
She has a slightly different view than a person that actually grew up during those times, an African American, when they grew up during those times. So if you wanted to highlight that story and you wanted to be diverse and tick boxes like the BBC do, well then why didn't they hire an African American writer to tell the Rosa Parks story?
She is African American.
No,
she's of African American heritage, I'm fairly sure.
No, she's not. She was born and raised in UK.
She was born and raised in the UK, but her heritage would be most likely of African American descent. And she's probably herself experienced racism. I mean,
she would have a different view to an African American because she didn't live through it. because Britain was a different place to the United States of America. Completely different. They changed it. It was different. It was startling, the difference, right? I'm not saying there wasn't racism in the UK. There certainly most was, okay? There definitely was, towards black people, towards Irish people, anybody that wasn't British, right? But at the end of the day, you look at what happened in America. It was so much worse.
Oh, I agree, it was, but I think it portrayed it realistically.
It's a woman from the UK that happens to be Mallory Blackman. She happens to be a black woman living in the UK, would not have the same perspective. She wouldn't have the same lenses as someone that went through that experience, that lived through it. And
no, but I don't think you're going to find someone who lived in the 1950s, are you? I mean,
What
look,
you do-
the thing is,
There's loads of people on YouTube, right? There's loads of channels on YouTube that have actually covered this episode. That the panelists all happen to be African American. You should go and check out what they have to say about Rosa Parks and this episode, right?
well, that's all very well, but I'm telling you my opinion. I don't have to be African American to have an opinion on it.
The UK might be happy about it because the BBC are virtual signaling. That's fair enough. But if you're going to do stories like this, especially history, I'm sorry, you've got to show both sides. And yes, it was nasty. But
so what is the other side of the Rosa Parks story, in your opinion?
Go and Google that yourself. And
Well, I don't need. Well, I mean, if you're, I mean, you sound like you've looked this up a bit. I mean, if you know,
I don't need to explain.
Well, I think you kind of do, because I completely disagree. I think they were just racist.
You disagree. That's your opinion. You disagree with me. That's fine. You can disagree with me, but the point is, I don't think you could tell these stories. You disagree with me. That's fine. I don't think you could tell these stories properly within the confines of Doctor Who, which is supposed to be also a sci-fi show. Remember that it's not just educational.
That's why the villain was from the future.
Sci-fi show, right? And
the villain was from the future, though. That is science fiction.
Educational when they introduced the Daleks back in the classic era, and it became more than just educational. So the show has always evolved. We are not against the show evolving, but if you're going to be telling stories like this, you must do them justice. And I don't think Chris Chibnall is capable of doing stories like that.
What about Demons of the Punjab?
Photographs, it looks like he's doing either the English Revolution or he's doing some sort of revolution story for Series 13. I can guarantee it'll be historically inaccurate, and he will. By the way, I think it looks like the Sontarans are going to mess with it. So he's messing with history unnecessarily. History is based in fact because it already happened.
So you don't think they should do historical stories full stop?
In the New Who era, look at the way RTD and Stephen Moffat did it. We had Fires of Pompeii that was lightly based on the Pompeii disaster, but the way
it wasn't lightly. It was based on it.
Yeah,
like, there's no lightly about it.
It wasn't historically accurate. That's the point.
So do you not think they should do them full stop?
Honestly, no. I don't think there should be historical stories in Doctor Who, not under Chris Chibnall anyway.
Well, then what's the point in making it a time travel show?
What?
Then there's no point in making it a time travel show. Like because the future stuff, that could be on any bloody planet.
I'll put it to you a different way then. The Doctor should never go back to fixed points in time in history and do history shows. Rosa Parks is obviously, it's set in history. It happened, right? We know what happened. We know what the fallout of that was, right? If he's not going to stay true to the source material, right, which you can't do in Doctor Who, by the way.
Source material, the historical event.
You have to have that sci-fi element. That's why he brought in Krasko, the leather jacket racist, with his technology, right? Because he needed to have that sci-fi element. It doesn't work in a Rosa Parks episode.
Why not? Why not?
It just
because there are. What do you mean it just doesn't? That's a terrible argument. No, you're better than that.
A terrible argument. Listen, I've explained all this on streams, right? Go back and watch me reviews.
Oh, come on! This is a debate. This is a debate. This isn't just go back and watch my videos time.
Like, I want to run out of time now, so is there anything you'd like to finish up on? You've got about 30 seconds.
If anyone likes me, follow at My Memery Factory on Twitter, please. I'm called OJ Simpson on there, so please do that. I'm very sorry if I pissed you off, Noel.
You haven't. Look, I don't mind having a healthy debate. You obviously don't agree with me. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but that's my point of view. And you've got a different point of view. That's fine. We can move on. That's what used to happen in this fandom, by the way. We used to be able to debate things and move on. No biggie. So
also, unblock me on Twitter. Unblock me on Twitter.
I'll think about it, but I'm gonna go now because we've got a couple of more guests coming on. So thanks for joining us.
That's okay.
See you later. Bye bye.
Dab on that.
Right, let's bring on our next guest. He's been waiting a while. He was down as a Spider-Man, but he's down as Matthew helping Lee. Oh, fantastic. We like a good debate here on the Tardis Zone. Right. Are you here? You hear me? Oh, we've lost Matthew. Right, Matthew's not coming on, he's helping. Okay, I get it. Right, that's fantastic. Right, let's bring him on because he's been waiting. We've got Jed waiting, and we've also got who else have we got waiting there? We've got Tim waiting as well. Listen, again, look, different points of view. Good debate there, you know. I've made my position clear on historicals. I think a lot of fans have. You know, under Chris Chibnall, just don't honestly believe he can do them justice. But I've always had, you know, look, New Who is a different entity to Classic Who. They knew what they were doing. Chris Chibnall doesn't, and I don't think Rosa Parks or Demons of the Punjab are stories that he should be doing in the new era. That's just my opinion. Obviously, the memory factory disagrees. Right, let's bring on Jed. Can you hear me?
Put Tim on first. We were no.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I'll be last. I'm
right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring. Okay, that's fair enough. I've never had a guest wanting to come on last, but we'll go with the flow. We go with the flow. Right, we got Tim. Can you hear me? We got a bit of a lag or something. Hello? Tim.
Hey there.
Ah, there we go. We got you.
I didn't know I was up next. I thought you were bringing on Jed there.
But then Jed said, I'll bring on Tim first. He wants to go last. I've never had someone wanting to go last. So
I will say one thing about your previous discussion you had. I think that debate is good for the soul. I think that we all can have different opinions, and we argue our points of view, and then we move on, right? And we don't have to fight and argue and scream and yell at each other. I think that was good. I think that Meemner had a good point. I think he has his opinions on what's going on from his perspective, and you had your points as well. And we may disagree, but the best thing about fandom is that we respect the fandom, we respect each other, and move on and watch the shows and enjoy it for what it is. It's fiction. It's
I mean, look, at some fans out there will agree with him and like the historicals. You know, I'm not saying I don't like the historicals, I do, but for me, I'm a bit of a history. I love me history, right? And I don't think, you know, I mean, we've even seen with Anne Boleyn, they're doing a new show and they've decided to race swap Anne Boleyn. I mean, it's history, for God's sake. You keep it true to history. So if Anne Boleyn happens to be white, she happens to be white. That's the end of it. You know, it's history. I just don't think, I don't like when sci-fi shows meddle with history, because for me, they never, there are one or two exceptions, but they almost never really work for me. And again, you might have a different opinion. You might think they work, Tim, but for me, they just don't. And I'm sorry, that's just the way. I mean, the Van Gogh episode is probably one of the best, in my opinion, if you're going to talk about kind of historical figures. I think they've handled him very well. That episode, Vincent and the Doctor, I think is one of the best.
It's one of the best of the New Who. I agree 100%. I love that episode.
Yeah.
But I might just say that when you're talking about recent history, so let's say the last 100 or so years, there's a lot of political angst that comes with telling those kind of stories, especially when you go race wars issues. Like, obviously there's going to be serious issues between what happened with Rosa Parks, what happened in India, what happened with many other cultures and political agendas that have happened in the last 100 years. So I like the Doctor better when he tells a really cool fantasy science fiction story. He goes to the future, he goes to the past, he goes to Pompeii, for example, or if he goes to the future. I like the older Doctor can kind of get away with recent history, especially in the first couple of Doctors, because being trapped on Earth or dealing with that's a little different because it was current time that they could deal with. When you start talking about going back and dealing with that particular issue that was the cause of the debate, you're never going to tell that story to the satisfaction of either side, because you're going to have to play both sides against the middle. It's better to just stay away from those kind of stories. This is about fun and about telling cool, fun stories. It's not about getting into a lecture where I have to go to college to get a degree. I don't want that kind of stuff in my science fiction. I want fun stuff.
Exactly. I mean, look, as I made the point, I mean, if you want to highlight the whole Rosa Parks issue, I have no problem. Do a documentary on it on BBC. Make it a 7-part or 8-part documentary. Go into the whole history. Tell both sides, though. You have to be, again, I know the other side is ugly. Racism is ugly. But you've got to show that. You've got to highlight that so we can learn and move on from it. That's my point. It's not because I enjoy watching racism on screen. It has to be shown. We've got to show the ugly side of all of these things. If you're going to be doing historicals, and I mean, they showed both sides on the Green Death when you were doing the what you call it, when you were doing all about the oil and the environment. They showed both sides of that argument. They showed how it would affect the oil industry and why they do it. And then, you had the other side that were basically, environmentalists. So they showed both sides. And again, this is what I'm talking about. If you do these stories, it's important that you do show both sides. But these kind of stories are too heavy for Doctor Who. Anyway, these parts of history are too heavy for Doctor Who. I mean, look what he did in Spyfall Part 1 and 2. I mean, we were in France occupied Germany. You know what I mean? I mean, they're too heavy. You can, as I said, I'm not saying you can't do historicals, but you don't go for really moments like this. These cannot be done justice on Doctor Who, in my opinion. And that's why I have such disdain for those both episodes, because I don't think they did do those stories justice. And they're important stories to be told, and they should be told, but you tell them properly and you tell them in a different environment. You don't do it in Doctor Who where it's constricted.
Yeah, I want to just do a quick shout out to Chris Persia, because he said something too that I can agree and disagree from a certain perspective. He said, let me say this, Matt Smith's Doctor said he can't enter fixed points in history. So Rosa Parks shouldn't have been done as a fixed point in history. That's a safety net. I think that if you stay away from those fixed points in history, you don't get to tell a story where you're going to have to take one angle in the story, right? So you're going to upset the other half of the people, or when you haven't participated in that part of history, how can you tell a historically accurate story? Are you going to listen to the history books? Well, I've always learned that history books are told or written by the winner or of the war or of the battle, or they're always written from a certain perspective. It's whoever's in power, whoever's politically has their agenda
Exactly.
to put themselves in the right light. So if you're looking back at 200 years ago, how can you know if that's historically accurate? However, if you tell a fun story that doesn't have to tell you a lecture on what actually happened to historical events, you can kind of do a side story where it's fun and tells a cool little story. Maybe there's vampires in London or whatever.
That's the difference, though. That's the you bring up a good point. That's what I was trying to actually say to them. What I wanted to actually bring up to the Memory Factory. But again, with the Rosa Parks story, right? This is where I have a problem. The Doctor and her companions became part of history. They ended up on the bus. Graham was the one, that had to sit down, wasn't it? He had to sit down so Rosa couldn't get
Yes.
the seat,
Yes.
right? So they
And-
became entrenched in history, and that's not how it happened. And you can't be doing that. Yes, if you want to do the Rosa Parks story, you can do it where she's not, the Doctor and her companions are not directly involved, but something on the sidelines, right, is going to try prevent this from happening. You can do that. But they didn't do that. They put them part of the actual history, and that's why I have a problem with it. The Doctor should never, especially doing stories like the Rosa Parks, as I pointed out, should never have been on that bus or involved in that part of the storyline. And that's why, and then to add more insult to injury, they bring on a stupid pop song from this era instead of actually doing something sensible, which if I had been doing the Rosa Parks episode, I would have had a song from that era playing in the background, right? And that's how you would have done a stupid bloody pop song when she's getting walked off the bus. Bloody disgrace. Should never become part of it, right?
Yep.
Always should be looking in like the rest of us. That's the point. But no, he decided to do that and go down in that direction. And that's why I have a problem with it. That's why these stories don't work, especially under Chris Chibnall. You can have historical stories once the Doctor is not part of the main part of the history, or she's directly involved with her companions, like Chris Chibnall did with Rosa Parks. It's an absolute disgrace.
Agreed. Now, and both of us are in agreement, and I know several people are in the chat. But I respect Meme's opinion. I respect his perspective. 3 million people are still watching the show, so I'm guessing that they feel the same way. So you know what? We can agree to disagree. That's all cool.
Exactly. I mean, look, I've never really, some of the historical stories have been okay, but I don't really like them doing history, if I'm honest. But look, if they do them, I'll watch them, and if they're good, I'll praise them. There has been some great historical ones out there. I'm not saying there isn't. Just for me personally, if you're going to make the Doctor and companions main part of it, then it's not going to work, in my opinion. You're tainting with history. You're actually trying to change history. I mean, there was no being there on the bus called the Doctor with 3 bloody companions. Come on. That's absolutely ridiculous, but that's the message you're sending out. And remember, kids watch this, right? So nobody's looked at it from this point of view. So kids have watched it, yeah? And kids will think, right, because that's how kids think. Kids will think, oh, the Doctor went back and was there on the bus with Rosa Parks, Like, come on.
I just think that it's a better show. If you're going to do time travel, it's a better show to go in the future. I've always said that about Star Trek. I've said that about Doctor Who, because then you don't have this political issue. Now, of course, you can tell a woke SJW agenda-based episode in the future too. Don't get me wrong, but you also can disguise it in science fiction and stop writing so seriously. Like every episode makes me want to just throw my remote at my screen. And I think that that's part of the problem. I mean, significant characters in history too, you can kind of play around with it a little bit, but when you significantly change events that are historically accurate to a certain perspective, right? I don't mean the show, I mean historical perspective. It's hard to change that, and that's exactly what you're saying. Having them on the bus like that, it's just ridiculous.
I agree.
That's a specific event. That's a specific moment in time. You can play around with the story and have other parts of the story. I don't have a problem with them meeting Rosa Parks, but inserting them in that specific point in time, that's just
exactly. You don't
awful.
do that. You just don't do that. Exactly. Listen, we're about to run out of time, Tim, but do you want to give your usual shout outs and stuff before you head off?
Yes, absolutely. It's funny because this isn't why I came on to chat with you, but I wanted to chat with you about episode 4 of The Mandalorian that I watched today, but that's fine. We can talk about that in your review
I haven't
episode.
watched it yet, so we will when I watch it. Obviously, I'm going to watch it tonight with Cheryl. We're going to watch The Mandalorian because we got the new episode.
That's good. I didn't want to spoil it. I was just going to say that I had fun watching it. There are some serious issues with the episode, but I loved it. I enjoyed it. What I did was I turned my critic mind off for about 35 minutes and just enjoyed the episode. And then afterwards, then I can get critical of it. But I came upstairs thinking it was one of the better episodes that I've seen, which isn't to say too much, but yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it. You just got to go with the flow, enjoy the action, enjoy the fun, enjoy the child, enjoy the interactions with all the new people that he meets, and of course our old favorites, and just enjoy it. I think that I'm trying to do that because I watched Star Trek Discovery the other day, and oh my God. So anyway, I'll just say thank you. I do have a channel now, so I'm enjoying this opportunity to get a chance to chat. Thank you, Noel, and thank you, Problem Being. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Chris, out there in the chat today. Great stuff in the chat. It was hopping. All you people out there, Jed, Clobbering Times, PD Rich, everybody out there, and it's just been great. I'm sure I missed somebody, and I'm sorry if I did, but I'm thinking of you too, and I think that that's a big part of all of these live streams is the opportunity for us to chat in the channel and chat and be able to say hi to everybody and see everybody and share our love for this kind of thing that has really been part of our lives for our whole life. So thank you very much for letting me be a part of it.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for the kind words. I see some in the chat are a bit, listen, when guests come on, they're obviously going to have different points of views. And I know some of you in there are thinking that this guy was trying to get me to say something to make me look bad. You know, I don't really give a flying crap anyway what they think. But at the end of the day, I gave my point of view. They gave their point of view. And that's it. It's done. And if anybody wants to take issue with anything that I said on tonight's show, I don't give a crap. Go ahead. That's what everybody is good at doing anyway. So let them. Who cares? This is our community. This is our channel, and it's open to new people all the time. And if that's the kind of tactic and stuff that they want to do, they can do whatever they want. We're going to continue to do what we do on this show, which is let you guys have a voice, and that's what we're all about. But listen, Tim, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you soon.
I'm sure I will. Thanks again.
Not a bother. Right, let's bring on Jed now. Let's hope he's ready this time. I don't know why anybody'd want to go last, but well, I don't know why you'd want to go last, but you're going last. There you go, Jed is on. Yeah, and I just want to read this super chat before we start. So it's from Nicholas Horton. It's a £5 super chat. Seeing that Monday is November 23rd, it's the last chance for a trailer or preview. You're talking about the festive special. Yeah, I think nobody gives a crap about that now, Nicholas, to be quite honest with you. But it would be nice to give the Geordie fans something, wouldn't it? We'll see what happens anyway, but it's going to be an interesting time ahead, to be quite honest with you. But we're going to be here on the 23rd. We're going to be doing An Unearthly Child, the aired pilot and the unaired pilot, and then we're going to finish it all off with an adventure in space and time. Yeah, he's better get his hankies actually, because that shit makes me cry, especially the part where William Hartnell's Bradley's character, who's playing William Hartnell, is at the fireplace and he breaks down. He says he doesn't want to go. I know that probably didn't happen. I don't know if it did, but I always imagine that's the way he would have reacted when he was told that he couldn't carry on. So that always hits me. So get your hankies ready for that, because that's gonna be a teary one. Right, I'm about to start the watch now in a second, but we're gonna find out what Jed wants to actually talk about, and then we'll go on from there. Jed is the last guest tonight. I just want to say, before we do start with Jed, I just want to say thank you to everybody that came on. We had a bit of a vetting process, and it went well. I have to say, it went well. Lee did a fantastic job, and he's been getting a bit of help backstage as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And I just want to echo what Tim said and others said. The chat has been hopping. It looks like everybody's had a great time, which is what our aim is: get as many points in and people's opinions as possible. So thank you all for joining me. And remember, every guest that was on tonight, their channel will be highlighted in the live chat. Go and check them out. Please subscribe. We're trying to get, if I remember correctly, we're trying to get Lee Anthony Davis to 100 subscribers before the end of the stream. And as Jed is the last guest, we're coming close to the end of the stream. So Lee, if you could tell us in the chat if you've gotten any more subscribers, and we'll try give it one final push there before we finish with Jed. So let us know how many subscribers you've actually gotten, and we'll see if we got you any closer to the 50 mark. Don't worry, Jed, we haven't started the time yet. So
no, I'm letting you do your spiel. I understand, brother.
Not a bother. I'll just wait until Lee pops in the chat there now to tell me if his subscribers have jumped up. Hopefully they have. So let's see. I've got 68 subs. I was Lee Anthony Davis. Sorry, bro. I'll call you problem being in the chat, Lee. I was talking about Lee Anthony Davis's channel. So Lee Anthony Davis, if you could tell us if you've gained any more subscribers. Lee's got the 68, by the way. Problem being, I should say. So if you want to subscribe to his channel as well and try get him up as well. And he's informed me that he only needs one more for 69. Lee and his dirty little minds. He's a legend. He is.
Lee's awesome. I love Lee. I've been talking to him a lot, but when you're not there, I talk to him and we set things up and stuff. So we can have you a little bit more organized, you know. So
right. Now Lee Anthony Davis has 56 subs. So if you can subscribe to him, at least get him up to 60 before we leave. Right. We're gonna get Jed to talk now. I'm gonna shut up for a few minutes.
Oh no, you took out what I was gonna do, because I was gonna say, on the 23rd we're gonna have the Doctor Who thing on the channel here for the 58th anniversary of Doctor Who, and we're gonna watch the cut and uncut version and the Journeys Through Time and Space too. So everybody's going to want to be here to see that. If you haven't seen the movie before, it is a really good movie.
Well, here's the choices you actually have, right? You can go to the official BBC, right? Because I'll be fair, right?
Yeah.
You can go to the official BBC Twitter account and their Facebook account, because they're going to be doing their own watch along of the Timeless Children. So if you want to go and watch that, fair enough. But if you don't, and you actually want to watch the very first episode that aired of Doctor Who, including the unaired pilot, then you're more than welcome to join us on this channel on Monday for the big anniversary. I have asked Rabbi if now I know it's short notice, so I don't expect one, but I have asked Rabbi if he could get us a little trailer to put the two of them in, the Unearthly Child, and maybe a clip of the movie or something, a trailer, put them together so we can have something for you, so we can hype it up even more. because I want to promote the crap out of this. Now, Lee has already put stuff up on Twitter. I've shared it, like a lot of other people have shared it as well, along with the Sea Devils trailer. At the end of that Sea Devils trailer, there's actually more promotion of the anniversary stuff that we're doing. So come and join us, because it will be fun. Now, you will need to have either BritBox, or I'm told there are other places where you can find an unearthly child. And I do know it was up at one stage. Now, it might be taken down. It's a long shot. But I do know for a fact that An Adventure in Space and Time was actually on YouTube at one stage, the full movie. Now, I don't know if it's still there, but it was at some stage. But you will find it in BritBox.
Yeah. I do know for a fact all that was up there on YouTube at one point or another. So, yeah, we may luck out because there's always people re-upping things, because if something gets taken down, something else goes up all the time.
Yeah.
So,
well,
and we cannot forget the hashtag Hartnell First. Everybody that's in chat, go on your Twitter. Make sure you put this out. And you can go on my Twitter, because I put a big, huge thing up and it's on my pinned tweet. Retweet that if you go on my thing, and to all your friends, so we can try to get people here for that on Monday on the 23rd. So, because isn't it awesome? Because if you're on Twitch, and this can go the same for Twitch too. We go and do this all the time on Twitch. The people that use Twitch all the time, we watch video games for the first time with people, and then you're like amazed. You're like, oh, that was awesome. Because everything's so much better when you have people around to experience, what you're seeing, especially if you haven't seen any of this ever, and it's your first time, and you experience it with your friends and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And on the night, listen, even if you don't have it now and you're not sure that you're going to be able to get it, I'm pretty sure when you come on here on the night in the live chat, I'm pretty sure there'll be people in the live chat then that will be able to tell you where you can actually watch it. So listen, even if you don't have it, come and join us, because we will be, while we're watching, we're going to be discussing obviously what's going on, what we're watching, and we will be talking about the differences between both the episodes, both the pilot and the unaired pilot. We'll briefly, because we don't want to get into a big debate, because we still have a movie to watch then. But what we'll do is we'll spend about 15-20 minutes talking about the differences and which one we preferred. A lot of people are going to be surprised about this, but I actually prefer the unaired pilot to the one that they actually put out. But I could understand why the decision was made, because the Doctor in the unaired pilot is a bit more harsh and and stuff. But I did like that, to be honest. But that's just a personal preference. So it'll be interesting to see which version everybody likes when we do this as well.
I do think he's a bit more harsh in the unaired pilot too, like you said, because I think he was trying to feel the character out in his own way at that time. But they had to, cut it a little bit, because I think, if I remember right, they said it was too abrasive for the time or something, so they had to cut it down a little bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's for me. I liked it. I don't know what it is about. I just would have liked his Doctor, but I can understand in those times it was different. So maybe
it was
a little bit harsh. But look, it was the right decision. Right, no matter what I think, it was the right decision, because I mean, we're coming up to the anniversary now, and it's still, well, I won't say it's still going strong, because it's not. And it doesn't matter what the other side say. If you lose 7 million households, I'm sorry. And this is the thing, I said it last night. If TV habits have changed, like they said, it still doesn't explain why 7 million households have stopped watching. They're still losing ratings. Even the 28-day consolidated figures, each week they're losing ratings. So it makes no sense the show is losing ratings because the writing from the showrunner and his writing team is absolutely bloody awful. And then they do episodes like Rosa Parks and Demons of the Punjab, and then they think that, you know, this is what fans want. Again, if you're going to be doing stories like this, you know, the Doctor shouldn't be front and center. In fact, like inserting herself into history with her companions, it just doesn't work.
Oh, it's very true, because it makes I know people said the Doctor has been heartless over some generations and stuff, but it makes the Doctor even look worse in a worse light somewhat, because Chibnall doesn't put the heart and soul in the character and the Doctor in any of the shows. You see glimmers of it, just tiny glimmers of it now and then, but then it's just. And for a person that says, "Oh, I've been a huge fan of Classic Who," you don't see it. You know, like why you go ahead? I just, you know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's like the new era has made it clear that, you know, fans of this show over the years aren't welcome, and that's the sad thing about it. I mean,
There's one thing about David Rayner just said. They do what they think the public needs. You know,
yeah,
and it's true. They're what they think the public needs. It's not because let's be honest, the BBC is ran by the public no matter what they say, and it always has been. Because of that, you had to pay for it. Okay, the public runs the BBC. Jay just got into their mind, oh, we run this. No, the public runs it. That's the reason why everybody's getting rid of their thing and not paying it no more, because they don't want to see what's on there no more. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Well, yeah, you start going back to the people that supported you for 50 or 60 years, not just with Doctor Who, but every other show that's been on there for a long time, and start doing it better and actually go back to what you're doing first for the public, you know?
yeah, but they pander to the Twitter lot. They've made it clear where their loyalties are now, which is sad because they think that the people on Twitter are representative of the whole of the UK and general society, but that's not the case.
Well, here's a funny thing, and somebody, this came up the other day. They said somebody did a study, and I don't remember. I'll pull it up later or another time. They said Twitter is like 1 to 3% of the actual viewing demographic for Doctor Who. 1 to 3%. That means there's like 97, 96% that are not on Twitter, that would rather see more things than just that, you know? It's in their mind. The public, we have to tell the public what we want them to see instead of, hey, let's have a good story with lots of warmth and heart, like when Tom did, or when, you know, any of the other doctors, especially Capaldi is one of my favorite doctors, because even though he had good lines and everything, but he had good things like, you know, never be cruel, never be cowardly. Remember, hate is always foolish. Love is always wise, and always try to be kind, but never fail to be kind. Like lines like that. That's the Doctor. You know what I'm saying? Or I do what I do because it's right, because it's decent, and above all, it's kind. It's just that, just kind. If I run away today, good people will die.
Yeah.
If I stand and fight, some might live, maybe, but some, you know, maybe not for long. But hey, there's no point in any of this at all, but it's the best I can do, and I'll stand here doing it until it kills me. That's the spirit of the Doctor right there. Tom's done that. Every single Doctor has done that.
Exactly, except when you get to Miss Whitaker's Doctor, because she's not written that way. She lets people die, kills off alien species, gets herself involved in the front and center of history. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. And again, it looks like, as I said before we finish up, we've only got about 30 seconds left, but it looks like he's gone back to the past again. Some soldiers with red and white jackets. I think they're the Brits. Could be the Brits. So he's doing some sort of war. Yeah. Again, if the Doctor is front and center in this story with our companions, this is a bad move, because history, and Tim does have a point. I mean, history is kind of mostly written by the winner. That's why it's always good to go out there, research it yourself, because you do find places where, they give a different view on history. It might be their point of view, but again, then you can look at both sides and then come up with your own conclusions. And that's what we've always done as a society. But now we've become a bunch of sheep.
I would always say, look beyond what you're seeing, because there's more out there than you think.
Yeah.
There's always more than one side. If you're one-sided in an echo chamber and everything else, you're going to think one-sided. You need to see both sides. Even though you may not like that other side, you have to hear it out, because you might learn something. You might find something out about yourself too.
Yeah. Right, listen, Jed, we've ran out of time. Do you want to do me a favor and give your channels a bit of a shout out there before I finish up? It is my anniversary tonight, so I really do actually have to finish now, because I have promised Cheryl that we do something, and in fairness, she's let me stream on our wedding anniversary, so I do have to stream. So do us a favor, give your channel a shout out there, and we will finish off for the night.
Okay. All my channels are TESD Toad. Instagram, YouTube, which I have 28 subscribers. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. I think I got everything this time.
Fantastic. Listen, I'll bring Lee on briefly, very quickly, because I am heading off, but I just want to thank him as well. So I might as well leave the two of you on here just for a second. Hold on, I just want to take that the British soldiers supported Mary. They probably showed them as racist. And apparently it's in the Crimean War. But listen, I'm going to bring on Lee real quickly, because I definitely have to finish up, folks. Lee, thank you for everything that you did tonight. I really appreciate it. You actually kept everything under control, and you've done very well. I know you got a bit of help from other people, but well done. We didn't have too much drama tonight.
No, it went pretty well. I think it's important as well that we have opposing views, as long as we know that they are not going to, say something like.
Listen, I'm not stupid. I didn't know. I do know. I do know what was happening there. They did try bait me into a whole racist kind of thing. I'm not that stupid. But I thought it was important that I do give me point of view and let these people know where I stand.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, that's where I do stand on it. You can't, I just firmly believe that, especially if Jodie Whittaker's companions become part of history, I don't think you should be meddling with stuff like that. But listen, again, absolutely fantastic work tonight. You played blinder tonight, actually.
Thank you.
I know it was my fault what happened last week, because I wasn't paying attention. That'll never happen again. But everybody in the chat was behaved. It looks like we did have a couple of trolls, but they were sorted pretty quickly. Nobody said anything of nasty or anything. No.
No, all good, all good. If I were you though, Noel, I would say to post that poster again for the watch along on Monday for the Hartnell First and Unearthly Child.
Yeah. Because guys, we're trying to get as many people as we can. I've even asked the lads on the private chats that I'm on Twitter. I've asked them if they wouldn't mind giving it a plug. So if anybody out there, you know, I've contacted Gary to ask him. I've contacted a couple of other YouTubers as well. Private messaged them. We want to get the word out there that this is happening. You don't have to suffer the timeless children. You can come and join us where we will be watching history,
Yeah.
genuine history, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And then we're going to watch the movie as well. Obviously, they don't get everything 100% factual in that either, but it's still a good little story. It's I love it actually. Sacha Dhawan is brilliant in it as well. Your woman that plays Verity Lambert is brilliant. Your man even that plays Sidney Newman is brilliant. Pop 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 pop. I love
Yeah.
pop 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 pop. Yeah, I love it.
If everybody on whatever social media you have, get the poster off Lee's page or my page or Noel's page, and
Yeah.
put Hartnell First hashtag on your Facebook, your Twitter, your whatever you have. Get it out there so we can get that
I
hashtag
feel a
going.
little bit bad because I should have been bleeding planning this since when November came in, because I would have loved to have some little promo trailers for you to build it all up, hype it out to bits. But unfortunately, you know, we've only got a couple of days, so that's we're trying to do the best of what we can. So Lee has made, as I said, a kind of a flyer. I've stuck it up. We keep repeating ourselves because we just want people. You know, I know people out there don't want to watch the Timeless Children, so you don't have to. You can come onto our channel, listen to us talk about it while we're watching it, and if you happen to have the copies as well, even better still, because then you will know where we are within the context of the story and what we're talking about. But listen, even if you don't, come and join the chat. Lots of people will be talking about Hartnell, talking about the history of Doctor Who. It'll be absolutely wonderful. So yeah, please do join us for that.
Yeah, come over, have a good time, relax, kick out with people that actually want to be in the spirit of the Doctor and have friendship and everything else. You know, just have fun. You know, get some of the. Don't even think about 2020 this time. Just have fun like we used to. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. And we still do have fun on this channel, but
Yeah, we do.
Let's have more fun. So join us, as they say, be there or be square. That's an old one. That's
The old ones are the best ones.
Yeah, they are.
1980s, there is so 1980s. What was the other one as well? When you didn't want, there was another saying that they used to have as well. Oh yeah, in Ireland. Don't be a dry shy.
I used to hear my grand say that one a lot.
Yeah.
So
don't be a dry shy. Join us on the Doctor Who's anniversary. But we're going to be here all weekend anyway, so we're going to keep reminding you, and we're going to keep hammering it home.
Yeah.
And what I will do is I will try upload the picture itself of Lee's flyer the next time for tomorrow, so I could stick it up on the screen for a couple of seconds or a minute or so people know exactly when it's on. Again, I should have been planning for this. My fault. We would have had trailers and galore for you.
Well, no, that's the reason why you have me and Lee. We're helping you out here, you know. I've been doing stuff behind the scenes, working with Lee, so because I know you're busy with either Cheryl's stuff, so me and him have been doing stuff for you behind the scenes.
I know you have been made aware of the stuff. I see you've progressed.
Well, I mean, Jed has more than I have. I'm fucking used to it.
Yeah, right.
But I've been trying to help you out a lot. So, and me and Problem are like, while you're here, don't forget if you would like to make me a mod so I can help out even more in chat. Okay. So
agreed. I second that.
Well, I'll say that again. Sorry, I was in the kitchen.
To make Jed a mod.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. I forgot to do it there. I'll do it right now, actually. Don't worry about it. But listen, we're gonna finish up now. So tomorrow we have what day is it tomorrow? Saturday. So we have this
tomorrow Saturday.
Yeah, so we have this coming tomorrow, folks. So that's the Sea Devils tomorrow. We're watching the Sea Devils. It's been interesting to see, as I said, some of the comments on Twitter about people saying when they were kids they were hiding behind the sofa. I love hearing little stories like that, actually. It brings back a lot of memories. Do us a favor, though, Jed. Just leave a comment in the chat now, will you? Because it only goes up a certain amount. Just say hi or something, and then I'll add you there. But on Sunday, we have this, folks. Wise words from Peter Capaldi there. Very good. Wise words. Yeah, I have to say. So that's it, folks. I want to thank Lee, Jed, and everybody else that was working behind the scenes, but also me moderators, and some of you were actually moderating at the same time as well. Multitasking. We have multitaskers actually on this channel. Fantastic.
Yes, we do. We have a we have a lot of multitaskers here, including me. So
we've got Chris and all the other mods. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chats, folks. Thank you for all the well wishes and the anniversary, happy anniversary stuff. I better make it up to her now, big time. But thank you.
Go in there and give her a bloody hug and a smooch.
Be grand. I'm making her something nice now. I always.
That's good.
Don't worry. But listen, we will be back tomorrow for Classic Who, and then on Sunday for New Who, and then on Monday we have our big night where we will be doing, as I said, an Unearthly Child. And don't forget to get the hashtags trending too. On Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform you're on, the more the merrier. And
even if you're on Parlor, put it on Parlor too, okay?
Yeah.
Partner first.
Partner first. Hashtag.
Right. I'll let you all go and join Gary and the crew at Friday Night Tights. Tell them I said hello. And if you could bring it to Gary's attention, I have sent him a message on Twitter. He did acknowledge the fact that I sent him a DM, but I might have got caught up in the rest of the fury of the Whovians chat that we have on Twitter, and I don't think he might have seen it. So if one of the moderators that are working on his channel tonight, I might pop in myself a little bit later on, obviously when Cheryl goes to bed and I'm on my own, then I might pop in if he's still on. If not, if people could just ask him if you wouldn't mind to plug this as well, because we want Monday to go well, and it will be even with you guys, but I want everybody to know that this is happening, because I know there's a lot of fans out there that don't actually want to watch the Timeless.
And if anyone feels like, if they are going onto Gary's channel and if they are feeling brave to super chat him to promote the watch along, that would be amazing. I'm not in the position to do that. I've already been super chatting, and I've reached the end of my finances, quite frankly.
Remember, go on either Lee's or Noel's or my Twitter, get the picture up there, put it on your page or retweet it, do whatever you can to get Hartnell hashtag first out, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Right, folks, we are off. I'm going to leave you with the channel trailer now, the last trailer. This is all work by Lee, by the way. If you need some work problem being there in the chat, if you're looking for anybody to rebrand your channel, he is the man. He's done a great job. But this has been the Tardis Zone Talks. And we're going to see you next Friday. We'll see you next Friday on the Tardis Zone Talks. I'm going to leave you with the main channel trailer now. Good night. See you. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend.
See you tomorrow.
And over the weekend. See you later, lads.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.